1979, but it is a history not our own. The guns of the Civil War are silent thanks to an uneasy ceasefire between the forces of the North and South. The Great Quake of '68 sundered the California coast, revealing the superfuel called ghost rock. This in turn powered an age of new science, driving men mad with ambition and something else altogether. The United States is divided into 6 nations in a constant state of conflict. Meanwhile, malevolent and sinister forces work from an unfathomable realm to twist the wills of men to their vile machinations. But one thing remains the same. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. And we are live. Episode 3 of Deadlands Reloaded, Murder on the Hellstromme Express. Oh boy, if you'll recall last week, our posse just left themselves in a dilly of a pickle. Having encountered some agency gentlemen thrashing some crates in the baggage car of the Hellstromme Express that contained the doodads and, whatnots of all the mad scientists on the train. Predominantly those of Elijah Bailey, the doctor employing JD and Shitstain, I believe is the new moniker. Mostly on account of the pooping of the pants. That, by the way, if you didn't catch last week, wasn't a decision that was thrust upon her by me as marshal. She elected to defecate herself in response to the speeding train, and then took actual statistical negatives for the fact that it was sticking to her leg as she had to perform feats of acrobatics to leap between train car and train car as it plummeted out of control, careening wildly, and smelling very much so like her leavings. But yes, so your employer, right, has just opened the door to find this scene of chaos and madness, because that's pretty much that's the going on there. So let me get this and let's cut the. So my soundscapes again this week are a little more impromptu than they would be due to some power outages. And if the show cuts out at any point, loyal viewers, don't worry, it was just my power browning out, and we'll be back in like 7 minutes. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. But here we go. Let's get the maps up here. Ooh wee. Y'all, you done goofed. I mean, so for the people that don't know, the agency is like the FBI, essentially. And our heroes have rendered 2 of those people unconscious for destroying these crates in the freight car, and now have their bloodied and unconscious bodies as a concern as they're pulling. What is going on with Leroy's cam?
I don't know.
Wow, dude,
He's in
it's
Minecraft.
like
Yeah.
you're like a creeper.
Yep.
What, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you've gone digital, mate. I might. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, saving throw show.
I'll
I
hang
appreciate
up
it.
and call again?
Mm-hmm. I would definitely do that. But, so, the train is pulling into Salinas, Kansas. If these unconscious gentlemen are still here when the authorities, make the surveillance of the train as you pull into the depot and all of that, y'all are just going to be, well, plumb screwed. So, there you are again. Very less creepery.
Let's go.
Much better.
And Elijah Bailey, right, the kindly black scientist that has employed you two here, is just my glassware. What in tarnation? Now to him, these are just Union Blue boys. He doesn't know they're agency boys because it's not like they're wearing their agency gear, right? They're dressed up as though they're train men, right? So he's opened the door, and y'all have kicked the shit out of 2 train engineers, right? And made a mess of his, preciouses. His unctions, his elixirs, his reagents.
Joe, you want to take this one?
Well, listen, you see those boys down on the ground there?
Well, of course, I'm not blind.
Yeah, so they were throwing your precious glassware on the ground, and we kicked their ass for you because that's what you're paying us.
Why on earth would they? Why on earth would they be? Well, this doesn't make any sense at all. I paid you to protect the glass. This isn't protecting the glass.
We tried. Listen, this is just an idea, but they might not look who they are dressed to be. They might. We think they're agents.
Agents of what?
We just heard wind of
agents of the devil. I mean, what madness is this?
Probably, maybe might be the devil.
Oh, what am I to do? What am I to do? And he kind of shoves you aside and starts looking at the vials.
Some of your things.
Unsavable.
We saved some of them.
I can't salvage
yes.
This simply won't do it
all.
all.
Casualties.
Oh no, where am I going to? Oh, how am I going to present with this? Oh no. And you say these two are responsible for this, and he kicks one of them a little. His wing-tipped shoe.
You kick harder. Yeah.
He kicked about as hard as he's capable. He's, he's not a man of violence. He's a man of science. So, but it looks like, he gave it a oof.
Well, as you can see, Mr. Elijah, we did save as many of these crates of vials as we could. We arrived back here.
There's simply nothing usable here, man.
Well,
I have just the things on my person. I might be able to brew something out of the remnants. There's a crate here. This was a crate of experiment entirely unrelated. Had I won, I was going to demonstrate it, but now, I can barely compete.
Well, to be fair, sir, you did not tell us exactly what crates had which items within them.
Perhaps the ones that were marked Dr. Bailey.
Well, but you just said that these aren't related to your experiment, so if we would have known which were, we would have protected.
You could have stopped these gentlemen earlier, is what you're trying to indicate?
Possibly.
Well, again, sir, we were held up.
We have to do something about these people. If I'm to present anything at all, they can't be allowed to continue rucking amok. That's the train pulling into Salinas now. What are we going to do? I have an idea. It perhaps be best that you all leave.
Sounds good to me.
I think we're done here. We did our job. Now, all right.
I will
Sir?
have to see if this is an accounting for your final payday. I don't know if we'll be able to find any glassware in Salinas at this hour. It's more corn than man out here, is my understanding. My God.
Well, you better brew up something with corn and pay me my $80.
You,
That's
sir,
all I got to say.
should mind your tongue with your betters.
Very well. I'll
Harumph.
tip my hat and walk up to the passenger car.
Victoria, Von Richter, you're still in here. Last, I believe, gathering up the bits of his material that could be salvaged.
I don't remember if we left. Did we leave the room because we're like, oh, we don't want part of this? We did it? Okay. So you just kind of...
You might have. I honestly forget. I thought you were still here salvaging up bits, but I see all three of you at the front of the car. So I think you did actually leave the room, leaving Elijah Bailey alone in the freight car.
Because we didn't want anything to do with that. Because we were
Right.
like, nope, fuck that.
You guys are headed towards the, the dining car, which is in front of this one. When the whole of the freight car flashes with green light, right? And this blackish green smoke comes billowing out of the doors. And Dr. Bailey comes and, adjusts his suit and says, well, that's taken care of, I suppose. Oh.
Well, and well, Richter's just gonna act like he did, because he was. I think we left before he came in there, so we're just gonna kind of act like we don't even know what the fuck he's talking about now.
Give me a notice roll, everybody.
Notice.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
I'm so good at notice.
Yeah. So, Joe Doggett, you definitely, you were the last to leave the train car, right?
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
you heard a weird shrieking, kind of,
Like
that,
a humanistic or
no,
what kind of?
no. Now, with your very logical mind, not getting purview to the supernatural, maybe the train hit a cougar that was giving birth to a chainsaw or something,
Okay. I was gonna think so. It's not like a mechanical, like a whistler.
There's kind of a mechanical element to it, something bestial to it, something kind of mournful as well, but it's brief. It accompanies the flash of light.
Well, it's just something mechanical whistling.
And Dr. Bailey walks past you, if you want to go back and examine the freight car at all.
Nope.
Nah.
No.
Maybe the less we know, the better.
Yeah, I don't. I think
that's always a good mentality
Joe's
on role-playing games. The less we know, the better.
Can
really
sell the lie if you don't know what the fuck actually happened.
Right, but this is kind of weird, right? Because this, Morrow, explained to you that she had some previous history with Dr. Bailey now. Clearly an agency official. And now, Dr. Bailey's taking care of the problem in the freight car. And none of y'all are even remotely. I'm shocked by that, but yeah, all right.
Well, I didn't know.
I'm curious.
Right.
I think we'll find out once we pull in. I think we'll kind of find out very quickly what happened, right?
Yeah. I've got enough things I'm wanted for. I don't need one more.
All right. Well, with that totally uneventful and not at all consequence developing solution to last week's conundrum, you guys pull into the Salinas, Kansas depot, which
awesome.
Yeah, it is late in the evening. Salinas, Kansas depot. Okay, cool. Sounds. Just need to make sure there.
Can we also have some goodies?
Oh, yeah, well, I guess I'll give you guys the stuff
let's
that's
get some
due to
chips.
you. You know, no. Now that you've asked for it, I wish there was a way to award...
It all at one time.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, Jeremiah.
Can I get better color?
I'm afraid to random. Oh, my
You do.
God. Oh. Oh, there's a red.
Hey, there we go. That's what I needed.
White chip. White. Oh, no, blue
Oh,
chip.
there you go.
Red chip.
think I
Von
can
Richter.
get
Oh,
one
4.
more.
Yeah.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Oh, 2 reds, a blue,
Wow.
and a white. Now, remember,
There
these
you
last
go.
2 weeks, so don't spend them all in one place.
So spend
2
them
whites
all
and a
immediately.
red for
Spend
Victoria.
them all today.
Spend them all on gambling. Why not? No.
I mean, you know, stranger things have happened. No chips left in bag. What?
What?
You don't even have enough
Please,
chips,
sir, can I have some more?
right?
Can I have some more,
Let
please?
me look
Some
at my
more.
chips here. Yeah, I don't have
fill
any
a pair of
chips either.
pants.
What is going on there?
Gotta buy more
Holding out
poker
on us.
chips.
I mean, that's not how poker chips works.
Came to the party empty-handed.
Gotta be a total
Kinda-
somewhere.
Kind
I
of
guess-
casino is this?
Was there a way that you took away all of ours first, and maybe that's what the problem is?
I mean,
Like it doesn't think it has a full bag.
set all fate chips. Alright. Reinitialized fate chip bag. So that means you guys get to luck out, maybe, or not. Let's try this again here.
Okay,
I literally
crossing
can't
my
do
fingers.
worse.
Hey.
Let's do it.
All's pretty
Alright,
good.
2 whites and a red
Some
for
reds.
Joe.
Okay.
Damn,
Hey,
even
look at
better.
that.
2 blues, a red, and a
Damn.
white. That's nobody likes you, Von Richter. We all talk about it.
Ouch.
Oh,
Give me some
3
money.
whites
Son
for
of a-
Eliza.
No, that's not good. No.
Hey, that's better for you. 1 red, 2 whites. Alright, and then let's see if it'll give me. Alright, there we
Did
go.
you give any to Victoria?
Sword. You
Oh,
forgot
no, I
something.
didn't. Yeah. No, none for Victoria. None for you. Alright, there we go. Everybody's got chips. So I
Nice,
can't just
nice.
draw them back in the bag. I have to reinitialize the bag. So,
That's-
Marshall note. Alright, and then your... God, I don't know why I bought this. I literally, for the audience, I spent $15 of my own money to get these adventure cards that absolutely... Every week something comes up where they're like, actually, we're not going to do this at all. We're going to do this, right? And...
That's our GM get out of jail free card.
Alright.
Yep. Yep.
2 for Jeremiah, 1 for Eliza, 1 for Richter, 1 for Victoria, and finally 1
Oh
for
my
Joe.
gosh, this is so much.
And
Why couldn't I have had this last week?
I don't see these until they play them either, so I have literally no idea what they bring up to me when it comes up, which is interesting.
We don't get to keep the 2 though, right? It's just the 1.
Oh, did it not take all the ones from last week?
No,
No.
because I still have mine.
Did that take all the ones from last week?
It took
Yes.
all of
They
them.
took all of
All
them,
right.
yeah.
Everybody getting reissued. We're still learning.
But that card's so good.
Oh, I know. This one probably sucks comparatively.
Yes,
You're
it
on-
does.
You're all punished for my ineptitude.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. No, I'm pretty happy with
Alright,
it.
everybody got their adventure cards, everybody got their
I gotta
chips.
look at all the itches.
Pretty
Indeed.
damn good.
Alright, Salinas, Kansas. Elijah Bailey, very much so, needs one of you to accompany him to go look for precious glassware at 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday night in Salinas, Kansas, which consists of a tavern, a grain silo, and some cows.
Tavern it is.
Tavern it is, yes.
Tavern.
Which one of you is accompanying him to the tavern?
Joe.
It'll either be Joe or me, right? We work for
Yep,
him.
yep.
I kind of want to. I don't want to act like I'm trying to spy on them, but I kind of want to follow and see what they're doing.
But you're totally going to spy on them, is what you're saying right now?
But like in a way that like we could help each other out. if it goes bad.
In
But
the
hopefully
way
they
that
won't
you
notice.
could help each other out.
Yes.
So, if you guys will recall, Von Richten's whore, is following you. His lady of the evening, his
Yep.
night
Lady of the night,
gal,
sir. Lady of the
yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
his paramour, his escort, his what's the name of that hell, I've run out of names for
Red
whore.
light?
No, it starts with an O. Au pair. His au pair. There it is. I didn't run out of words for it. Ooh, prostitute? Yeah.
Prostitute.
No, but at any rate, his hooker, his,
Yeah.
I think the audience gets the gist. Remember, you clicked that 18 and over button. You consented. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. It
But,
has happened.
So, yeah, she's following you to the tavern. Elijah Bailey is talking to the barkeep, who has nothing even remotely kind of resembling scientific glass. I mean, he doesn't even know what an Erlenmeyer flask is, you know? He's like, I got shot glasses, I got mugs, I got whiskey bottles, right? Like, and Dr. Bailey's looking at a whiskey bottle, I wonder if it could withstand the heat required for, and no, I mean, this is a fool's errand at this point. The evening sun, grows low in the sky, and things are quieting down. It's not a big city. It's a quiet night. I mean, there's like 2 patrons in the bar. Dr. Bailey is just dejected.
So, what is the likelihood that I would have some glass on me in my experiments?
I don't know. Why don't you roll a d20 for me?
Okay. Here we go. Not enough.
3. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3 pieces of glassware total.
I need to make some money. So, I'm assuming I maybe, I guess I go to the tavern and sit in there as well.
Yeah, you're talking like, so these things normally be like 50 cents a piece, but I mean, Dr. Bailey, right, dire times.
I need to pay somebody, you know what I mean? I need some.
What are you saying? Like, I mean,
I'm gonna sit around, right? And I'll see him kind of wandering. I mean, do you want to notice roll to see if I hear him asking about the glassware?
No, I mean, he's very effusively asking about the glassware. If you went to the tavern, which is literally the only open, it's the saloon, that's it, right? Like, yeah, no, you overheard him sitting at the bar going, good God, no! Now he's looking at a brandy glass, trying to figure out if he could refract the light through it in such a way at the prisms of it. No, he can't.
So, I'll go over to JD, I guess, where he's sitting and talking. And I think I got $1. Oh, shit. All I got is $1. Okay. How much would a drink or a shot or something be? I'll look over to the bartender and say, sir, how much is a drink of your cheapest liquor there? Some whiskey, we'll say. Anything in particular is fine. Cheapest liquor. I just need to get a little, and
25 cents.
25 cents. Why don't you get me 2 shots, please? One for myself and one for this gentleman here, which is going to be JD, right? And I'll look to Victoria, and I'll be like, she's probably not old enough to be drinking. So I'll look back over here.
First of all, in this time period, yes, she's definitely old enough to be drinking. Hell, she could have 3 kids by now. I mean... True that.
But he's still going to look to her and be like, I should probably not. It's a bad idea. Anyway, so he'll look over to JD and he'll buy him a shot. He'll say, if your boss there is looking for some glassware, I happen to have a few, but it won't be cheap. And if you will, and I'll kind of hand him the shot or whatever, right? So if you would be willing to.
So allow me 1 second here. The bartender reaches down to the very bottom of the counter and pulls out this wooden, like, half cask thing and pours just this, ruddy brown, like you can't see through it, right, cloudy liquor into this thing and pushes it across the bar. And, Give me a, yeah, notice. Yeah. Shit, this is
Notice.
practically a weird science, but yeah, notice. Yeah, no, just liquor. It smells like turpentine, Richter.
Oh shit.
My favorite.
And so I'll look to him and I'll say, "You have anything that's ingestible, sir? Something that won't fry the throat as it goes down?" Yeah, you understand? I
Hey.
like speaking, and this thing here will
He
destroy
pulls out
my.
another bottle labeled water that's about the same color
Oh my god.
and pours a shot of that and slides it across the bar.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Mix
Where
it
am
up?
I positioned?
You
Just
can be
as a
sitting wherever
question.
you would like. I mean, there's like a bar with like 5 spots at it, one table, you know, for playing cards, and it is not
Okay.
that piano's only playing again because the sound sets didn't work this week. This is just there are far less people chatting.
Okay, well, on me, I have a bottle of good alcohol.
Oh yeah?
So I'm going to saunter up
Yeah?
to the table and put the bottle down.
Oh, the
Pat
barkeep
Richter on
goes,
the-
"Oh shit, the real shit. Here, let me get something fancy for you." And he spits in a glass and wipes it out with the rag.
And
I
here
just
Rick
give
is
a
picking up
nod.
turpentine and
I
pouring
take
the
off
water
my
in.
jacket and I have a
Diluting
health
it.
inspector's badge on.
Got you, motherfucker!
I'm afraid the development of Ghost Rock did not advance health inspection by 150 years like it did civil rights and malls.
And he slaps the C- on his door.
Right?
We're out of here.
Which
So,
is probably the
Wait for
best health
Stan-
grade. I mean, that's like an A+. I mean, C- shit.
you can't be too picky. But anyways,
The rat
Victor-
stew didn't have hair in it, you know?
mixing the turpentine and the water when Eliza walks up and he's like, "Oh, this should be okay."
No, because they settle at different levels.
Ah!
They don't integrate with one another. But again, it's hard to tell because the water and the alcohol are of a similar hue.
Well, that sounds delicious, but I think I'll have a shot out of the good bottle.
Fair enough, friend. Fair enough. So, like I was saying, if you would be willing to, if you will, without including my name, willing to foster a trade for some money, I would be willing to not only allow you a drink of my here friend's liquor, but I would be willing to give you a part of said money as well. Friend.
How much money are we talking there, partner?
Well, I say I have 3 glasswares. I'd say $10 a piece seems fair here in Kansas. Yeah, I'm fucking trying to take them. And I think I can spare with 10 of those dollars.
I mean, I'll run it by Elijah, but $10 is a hefty price around here.
But you know, he does want to win, and I would appreciate if you don't include my name in all this process.
I'm gonna say $10 and a little bit of information.
And he'll look to her and looks at the liquor bottle and say, I guess that's fair, yeah.
Highway robbery. It's uncouth.
What kind
Dang,
of
it
information
simply
are you
isn't
looking for?
Christian, says Dr. Bailey. What, are we negotiating with the literal bandits of bloody Kansas?
Well, you see, Doctor, you have a predicament in which you are missing some glassware, and
A
this gentleman
predicament
has
I
a
found
predicament.
myself in, perhaps due to the lack of judgment in my employing.
Well, I'll tell you one last time, Doctor.
I do find you at least partially responsible. I mean, come on. It was your whole
the
gig.
only thing,
It was your
the
whole
only
gig.
thing, the only thing that myself and Joe are responsible for is stopping the complete destruction of your glassware on that train.
I suppose that is an infallible position. Had you not been there, I would be out all of my glassware as opposed to only most of it.
Indeed. Well, with that in mind, this gentleman that I have spoken with has offered to supply you with 3 pieces of premium glassware at the low price of $10 per.
Do they come with a blowjob?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. You see, there's also Miss Eliza here who wanted to speak with you.
Now this is really not Christian. He's...
I haven't
I mean-
tried her services myself, sir, but I have heard that
Through the
she
grapevine,
she is a lady of the night, as they say.
a man with such esteem. Oh no, we're role-playing this, Leroy. This is happening, yeah. Dr. Bailey lowers his zipper.
Ready.
No.
So put
No, we're
your
not.
dick away, Doctor. Jesus.
We're not that kind of stream. No, he is, yeah. I just got a follower. Maybe we are that kind of stream. My apologies, shit.
It's a paladin
But,
coming to sanctify this stream.
Yep.
but, need a young priest and an old priest. The power of Christ compels you. Or Christ compels you. $10 is ridiculous. This is a ludicrous sum, but I don't really have any, you know, what am I gonna do, barter? I mean, have you seen this guy spit in the glass? Do you have any idea what that would do to my tinctures? But yeah, and he pulls out just like,
No more.
I mean, allow me to
Fat
emphasize,
stack.
and flips through several hundreds, you know, to some 50s, to some 20s, right, and peels off 3 $10 bills, and, you know, pats you on the chest with them and says, I feel assured that this is reassuring about your payment on the other end as well, as he sticks the, a wad back in his pocket, yeah. Now that he's put it in there, I mean, it looks like he's packing, you know.
He's got body armor on. It's money. All right. I will go back over to Richter Von Steele, and I'll lay 2 of the 10s down on the table.
Before you do so, he tells you, when you're done with this, reconvene back at the train. I have a feeling that this isn't the end of the, you know, foolhardiness. And then he goes back to the train himself.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll hand Richter $20 and tell him the sale was successful.
And he'll give him a nod, and he'll hand over the glassware to him and say, "Thank you, sir. I appreciate you." And you said your name was Jeremiah. Yes, Jeremiah Decker, possibly, or was it something else? Because I can't quite remember.
Yeah. You see, most folks just call me Judd, but for you, an esteemed business partner, you can call me Jeremiah. Sure.
Jeremiah, okay, indeed. Very nice to meet you. Thank you again for taking care of that. I prefer not to include my name, especially when it has to deal with the likes of people like him, right? But again, thank you for everything.
Of
And
likes
then,
of people like him.
Hey, that's not how I meant it, man.
Is it because he's black? Wow.
It's because he's rich, man. It's because he's
Oh
rich.
god.
Oh, jeez.
I thought you were gonna say because he's smarter than you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's
You're
got a
supposed
doctorate.
to be working for me, goddammit. Like, what kind of employee
It's
are
alright,
you?
remember, she said
No,
that in
this guy-
Spanish, so.
He's good. look
En
over.
español, por favor.
He's just gonna feel the knife on his back and kind of hunk his shoulders and say, "Anyways, thank you again." And he'll kind of walk away, and how much do I have? So I have 20 now. God damn it! Expensive living.
Jeremiah,
I made $10.
give me another notice roll.
All right. Boom.
Well, shit. Somebody opens the saloon door, stops dead in their tracks, and peels out. And you'd be a son of a bitch if it didn't look like they were wearing a bandana that signified that they might be involved with a certain outfit that you might have a passing familiarity with from down south. In fact, with that notice roll on that raise there, that was a bandolero.
All right.
Which is weird because this is a mite ways from where you'd be expecting to see these folks. But you do know that, they had a itch to, make amends with you having made amends.
No, it makes sense why the bandoleros would be here.
It is bloody Kansas.
I think Jeremiah is going to stealthily make his way back to the train.
Stealthily make his way back to the train with a stealth roll. Oh, are you going to be accompanied by anybody, or are you going to do that solo?
Well, who else is in here?
You
left,
still,
right?
Von Richter has left. I believe Victoria, Schutzstein, and Eliza are still here. And until you get a better nickname there, Joe, I don't know, man. You did it to yourself. Every time I look at... Oh, it's Skidmark now. Okay, Skidmark. There we go.
I'm going to see if I can change it every time.
All right. Skidmark.
Yeah, so I will grab Joe and give him the... Her?
Yeah.
It's fine. That's it.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Kind of wanting. Just, yeah, it's fine.
So I will give them I
will give Zay
the briefest outline of the fact that there is a bad padre here in town looking for me, and that we should get back to the train before the shoot starts.
A bad father, everybody.
Bad father.
Left him when he was 5 years old.
A bad hombre.
Yes, that's the word.
Yeah. A bad poppy. That means something else altogether.
Joe, there's a bad poppy in town. We gotta go.
It's a sinister padre, y'all.
Yeah. You don't know. He could have been a clergyman. Just because he's wearing a bandana.
That's true. For all I know, he's a man of the cloth that is no longer, for sure.
But
all right,
I'll just say...
stealth roll?
Yep.
Alright.
You're fine, Joe, because they're not looking for you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I was just stealthing along.
Notice roll, both y'all.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm not sneaky, and I don't notice shit.
Yeah, never mind. No, everything is wonderful. I mean, it's that perfect temperature. The crickets are chirping. Somebody just mowed their lawn. You know, you get that smell of earth kicking up. You know. Oh, I forget what that word is. I love it though. But at any rate, yeah. You guys do not. Everything's just plumb fine. You make your way back to the train. Not a bit of bother. Eliza O'Day, you're still at the bar, I guess, with Victoria.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she doesn't speak a lick of English.
Hola.
Yeah, sitting there with that nice bottle of liquor on the table. Now, I can't recall, were you speaking English when it was revealed that, in fact, she claimed to be a lady of the night and the employee of Von Richter, or is this complete, like, are you... Okay? You know? Where you sit there?
No, the device was not turned on.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
Right. So you're just sitting here with this lady. You don't know from Adam.
At the same table.
Just alcohol in between them.
I mean, there's the one table and the 4 spots at the bar. I don't, you know.
Okay.
Everybody else was sitting there. Then they left.
You said there's gambling there as well, right?
Huh?
Like a poker table or something?
Yeah, it's a poker table. Nobody's playing right now, but...
And, like, have the other scientists gotten off at the tavern?
No, most of them are going about their own tomfoolery. You know, it's clear that this layover is just another stage in the competition in advance of the symposium. They're probably all performing sinister machinations as we speak.
Huh. Good question. Kind of realizing that Eliza's going to look at Victoria and kind of give a. She's gonna try and like give like signals for like go back to train.
Oh, yikes. Yeah. Chugga chugga.
Chugga chugga.
Chugga chugga
Go
chugga.
back. Chugga chugga.
Oh my, we must get back to this chugga chugga train.
Yes, that's my goal because I don't want to leave her here if something's going to happen.
Victoria, this lady's like miming at you like you're like 5, making train noises and shit.
I'm not trying to be patronizing, but
I mean, what train? You know, I mean, there's only so much that can be construed as not patronizing.
Yeah, you know, but I'm just.
You know what? Victoria, she takes in a deep breath and she remembers that she's left and she can't really, like, be mean. So she kind of gives you a tight smile and nods her head. Claro que sí. De regreso, tengo que rezar como cada día tengo que ser. ¿Le veo en el tren?
La train.
Oh.
Yeah, la train and go away on a latrina.
Are you guys gonna walk back to the train together?
And I'm going to make like a look and kind of say, not safo.
Ya entendí, no se preocupe. ¿Usted va a ir conmigo o se va a quedar?
I love that it's clear that there's a couple of people here who speak passing Spanish, and there's several people here who don't at all. It's wonderful. It's. But.
Alright, so I'm just gonna continue onto the train.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
Notice rolls.
Victoria follow.
Notice rolls from both of you, please.
Alrighty. Hey.
Oh yeah. Victoria.
Ye.
Did it roll mine?
It did not. You gotta roll it over the chat.
Oh. Yeah, I did. It just.
Yeah, it might be Fubar. You know how
It showed up as an 8. That's why I was so frustrated.
That's how I do.
Yeah.
You notice several, maybe a dozen or so of those steel clockwork mechanical ants. All over the train, working their way in and outside the gears. They all seem to be headed towards the luggage car.
The loading cart?
The cart where all the scientific doodads are stored, the front car in the back of the train.
Okay.
It looks like
put my
HK
arm-
Dial has his whole unit going for something.
Nice. Okay.
They
I put
don't
my
pay
hand
any
up
mind to you. In front of her? Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
sorry.
In front of her, and I just point them out. Mire, todos están leyendo la carta de los invención en... how do you say that word? De los personas inteligentes.
Close them out.
She's just gonna look towards.
I just point that they're heading over towards the loading cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's clear that about 4 or 5 of them have made their way in through the cracks on the door now.
I'm gonna look at her and say, do we go with them or do we go get people? Which safer?
Oh man. As far as Victoria knows, she's still employed and she's being paid. Yo voy a ir.
It's true, you are, and you saw. I mean, you were there when he
Cool.
got $20. I mean, it's probably time for a little slice of Victoria.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm gonna go. Voy a ir. Usted puede quedarse, pero yo sí voy.
How old does Victoria look?
20. Young. Little older than her age, but you know that's just on account of the hard
I
living.
can't let her go alone. I'm gonna go with her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
The,
the baby card.
the train car is locked, but most of the ants have made their way inside now. Yeah. You know, it's the big freight door. You're on the exterior of the train. It's bolted shut, but I mean, the 6-inch long steel ants can worm their way in there pretty good.
But yeah, I'll follow. I'll go with her. To see what the hell's going on.
Just that locked train car.
What are you doing?
It's a goldfish. It's swimming. Von Richter, give me a notice roll. Or Richter Von Steele. I don't know why I keep going Von Richter.
I know, I always say that too. I don't know why.
You have the, you notice a steel ant walk past you, headed towards the back of the train.
Gonna follow it. Come here,
Yeah,
little
no,
ant.
it's clearly headed into the luggage car.
You guys weren't supposed to see my fish swimming. That was supposed to be a stream thing. Damn it.
Yeah, we're all here, man. We're all here.
Yep.
Anyways, I follow the ants.
Yeah, it leads to the freight car, which I mean, again, is you know, locked up again. And the time you were at the tavern, you know, people went and inspected. But you can definitely hear the ants in there doing something. You're on the interior of the freight car in the hallway outside. They're standing outside, exterior.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go look for Jeremiah.
Yeah,
I know he can pick it.
Jeremiah, you're in the front of the car and perhaps have bigger fish to fry than some tiny little steel ants.
I was gonna ask him to pick it. Like,
by all
Jeremiah, sir,
means, but he definitely, again, you know, there's he's got some stuff going on.
Don't look for your trouble, sir. Would you mind picking a door for me?
Well, I can certainly give it another shot. They locked it already.
It's the freight car one, the one where my boxes are. I just want to make sure all my things are okay. You know, after the incident earlier, I'm not quite sure that all my boxes are okay. I found gears and springs and all sorts of things all over the place.
Yeah, I definitely don't want Elijah to get any more broken glass. He's already talking about not paying me. I'd hate to have to shoot the old man.
Yes, indeed. Breaking his glass and shooting him would be quite the bad thing I would expect if he's your employer.
Yeah, I'll go back and try to pop the lock.
Yeah, all right, give me a thievery. Yep, lock pops right open.
And I'll give him his dollar and say, "Go ahead,
damn.
Sir.
Nah, keep your dollar. You made me 10 with the easiest job I ever did.
Say, businessman, I think I'm going to like you, Jeremiah. If you ever need other work, come and find me. That is, if I can continue to make this money. But we'll go about that later on. He'll just turn around and go back to that freight car.
So, you opening the door into the freight car?
Yes.
Do you touch the door? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
He uses his mind.
I love that question. Just, yeah. So you slide that thing open, and there are only a couple of ants visible because it seems like the majority of them are in all the crates.
Huh.
No.
every single one of the crates is infested with these mechanical
Yep.
ants.
Is there a lot of them
my
or just a few?
God.
Dozens.
Let's
Maybe-
pull
Just
that
kinda want-
smooth talking guy out of
Maybe
the
30
passenger
of
car.
them.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go over and look in my box and see what they're, I guess, doing in there.
Give
Then
me a
I'll
weird
go-
science roll.
Okay, 1 second. Give me something good, please. Can I re-roll that or add a?
You can spend a red chip to add a d6,
I
or
use the blue, right? Does the same?
a white chip to reroll, or a blue to add a d6 and not give me nothing.
I'll do the white to re-roll.
Right?
Okay, there's that. Give me something. Oh,
There
there
you
it
go.
is.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, fantastic. They have disabled every device that was in your crate.
Huh. Okay, so he's gonna look at that. He's gonna kind of I mean, obviously he's just gonna assume it's sabotage, right?
Yeah,
And he's gonna
100%.
kind of, and he's gonna go over to check, I guess, given that this.
Also, with that raise on the weird science roll, it should be noted that these ants are moving in perfect unison with a like a balletic grace that is beyond like. I mean, it's a wonder of science what's happening to your shit right now. So amazing, truly amazing.
He's good. He's really good. Okay, so I'll go over to Elijah's crate as well and peek in it because I'm, now it's kind of my duty since this guy helped me out and I want to kind of help him keep his job as well. I'm gonna peek in there and see if they're good.
They appear to have cut up all the herbs. There's not much they can do with the remaining glassware, but all the pouches of reagents have been spilt, scattered all over the place. Various powders are lying about. The medicines are all over the place.
Do I see any scraggler ants? Any ones that are kind of wandering by themselves? Like that one that I saw earlier? Was it kind of wandering by itself?
I mean, no, but you could interact with any of them, certainly.
I want to find one by itself because what I'm really afraid of is I'm going to crush one and then they're all going to attack me and they're just going to find me dead in this car.
Yeah, I mean, so not to put too fine of a point on it, but an act of aggression against an ant would probably evoke some kind of a colony defense response.
That's kind of how I figured. Okay. So not being aggressive, how can I capture this without
That being said, most of these appear to be like a worker variety.
Interesting.
You haven't seen any that look like weaponized.
So, what do I have in my pouch? So, here's what I'll do anyways. I'll go back real quick, leave the room, I guess, and I'll
And
find
pause
Jeremiah.
for 1 second. Eliza and Victoria, what are you doing?
Did we see Richard go in?
Yeah,
did
you
we
could have
see
seen
from
him
the
pass
outside?
between the cars, yeah.
And was there a door on the outside?
Yeah, you can climb up in between the space in between the cars and then access any of the external doors. That's how you get in between cars on the train. You have to go outside the train to get inside the train again. Yeah, sure. So you guys are all up in the freight car now. Joe, are you involved in this?
I'm sure she's just like kind of following after JD. So, kind of. So, if JD picked the lock, I'm gonna assume she's like kind of around the freight cars. So, I was wanting her to pick one up and kind of like look at it, kind of figure out what not crush it or anything, just curious.
Yeah, sure. You can pick up
bite her or something.
You can pick it up. Yeah.
Okay.
It has a surprising heft. I mean, the thing weighs about 5 pounds.
That's a good question. How big are they?
About yay.
Okay, see, I imagined them much bigger.
No, about 8
Oh.
inches. Yeah.
I imagined them small. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, size of a finger.
Did I not say 6? I
Okay.
swear I've said 6 inches. Yeah, Mike's
Probably.
saying
I
I've
think
said
that they
6
were the
inches,
size
so
of, like,
The
Small
size of
dog.
full-grown dire wolves. No, these are, you know,
Go
Okay.
baby ants.
they're I
Oh,
mean, they're
so-
fucking huge ants. Don't get me wrong, but no, they're not even
Yeah.
a foot long. They're, you know, like yay.
Okay.
Will, are all the crates open?
No.
Oh.
You know, it's you know, they've pried a few open enough to get inside, you know, but it looks like they're going about their best to not have this be noted, you know? Oh, also,
Okay. Well,
shit, Von Richter, you weren't here earlier, but there are 2 scorch marks in the ground, where them Union boys were like. Give me a notice roll, see whether or not you note that the 2 scorch marks are where them
Alright.
Union boys were lying.
There you go. Oh yeah, he knows. He knows.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that they're man-shaped and appear to be in positions of terror doesn't hurt either, you know?
Just gonna pretend like I didn't see anything. It's like, oh, interesting.
And I should say
So
by
that's what it is.
scorches, right, it's like, there are scorches outside of man-shaped patterns.
Gotcha. Huh.
Looks natural. Wouldn't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah, now that everybody
Like a
else has entered the
cigarette.
car, you guys notice it as well. JD, this does strike you as plumb weird. Neither you nor Joe need a notice roll because, you know, you were well aware.
Yeah, they're in the shapes that we left the agents.
Right, might be that, they are up to antics. Hee hee hee.
I'll share
Is,
what I know with Jeremiah though.
Good Dr.
I'll let him know.
Bailey apparently does more than tinctures, you know?
Is Patton Riddle the one that controls the ants?
No, that's HK Dial. Patton Riddle's the Great White Hunter.
hmm.
I can't.
HK Dial with the ants.
Yeah.
You're gonna go
You
talk
wanna
to
find-
Dial?
You want to find out if he has a bulletproof head, Von Richter?
well,
Are
I
we
think it might
in,
be a
like,
bad
the same
idea.
areas? I guess just so we know what, like, if we can't talk to each other or not.
Yeah, you can definitely talk to each other. Yeah.
Okay.
You said you entered the train, so.
I'm going to, jeez. I'll look at everyone and say, if you can catch me one of the ants, I can figure out what it's doing.
I think they've already figured out what it's doing. It's
Or why
sabotaging
it's doing it.
well, I think the motive's pretty plumb clear too, frankly.
Or how to fix it.
That would be a lot of weird science at this point. A lot of weird science. A lot of repair rolls.
Would I be able to reprogram one? Probably not.
You should reprogram the entire bunch of them and have them attack HK Dial.
I had a better idea. Fix everybody else's and destroy his stuff. But how difficult would that be?
Also, if I could figure out how he's controlling them, I might be able to actually stop it.
If I remember right, he had a little box. Yeah, you're right, because he had a little box, right, and some
Yeah.
controls. If I remember right.
Oh, no, he had a bag he had some of them in. There's no obvious mechanism of control. And remember, he has
That's-
Max the manservant too. The
Can we try
8-foot
to-
tall metal automaton that accompanies him.
Because
Then I
if I
have to
can
figure out-
touch the ant, I can maybe figure out how it's being controlled.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and try and give me a hunch.
Good idea.
Ooh, it's in front of people. Oh god.
It is in front of people for sure.
And it's
Oh.
just
Joe's not gonna believe you, so
Right?
you just got 4 people you need to worry about.
I have dirt.
Oh, what's that?
on
A little bit of
Richter.
flash paper? Come on. I've been to Nickelodeon. I've seen them street magics.
Then David Blaine's. I don't know their trick.
I've got dirt on Richter. Victoria can't speak English. Jeremiah is the one I'm worried about.
You got dirt on me.
But he looks just as And I also know that he tried to kill those agents, so I can use it. I am going to use it
Whoa.
openly.
Alright, yeah. So, Eliza, for a moment, you are not in the train. You are in a distant, shadowy field covered with loose skeletal pine trees. The moon is full and bright above you, and the landscape is sinister and dark. Every rock face is malformed. You hear the voice of your long deceased husband on the wind beckoning you forward, and for a moment there's a sense of peace, and then the whole scene starts to decay around you and turn into dust. The skeletal trees now are skeletons themselves. The faces are screaming rictus. The voice of your husband is the agonized last breaths, and poof, you're back.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, there's no way. She is going to like have as she's seeing this, she can't like control what she's saying. She's just saying it. You're dead. You can't be talking to me.
Is this happening real time?
Yeah, right now, in front of y'all. Now,
So,
she's
Cool.
still,
like,
for
what-
you guys, her eyes roll back in her head, right, and she's just standing there, right? For her, she went
He's
someplace
having a
else.
seizure,
Oh,
y'all.
man.
Did we see
Like
like
a-
a bright flash of light and all that stuff,
Nope.
or no?
No, she pulled out some cards, touched an ant, and then her eyes rolled back in her head, and she was all, "You can't talk to me, you're dead," you know?
We've all been there. So.
Yeah,
That
right?
seems
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, we've
Seems
all
like a
had
Tuesday, you
that
know?
trip, you
Sounds
know.
like a
That
Tuesday.
sounds like a Saturday night in Salinas, Kansas, you ask me. Shit.
Sounds like a bad cup of turpentine. That's all that is.
Oh man.
You
Victoria's
hear
gonna head over to her.
a gunshot, which I would have had programmed if my power hadn't gone out right before the show. And it's close, you know?
Joe's gonna go and investigate. Go and see where that like.
You
Is
don't
there
have
an
to
idea,
investigate
like-
too long because a bullet smacks into the window right next to your head on the side of the car and shatters inward. And
Shit.
y'all are in a gunfight.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite
Any
place
news
to be.
from the hunch at all, or
That was the hunch.
that was it?
That's what when you tried to figure out what was powering the ants, that's what you got.
No.
Yeah, no, that didn't just happen to you. That was hunch. That was. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought that was apparent. No, that's what you saw in your vision of.
That means it's completely different than I thought, and that is not a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's no, it's not good. No, probably
That is
not.
good. That means,
Uh,
oh my god.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
So,
Okay. Calm.
there are people shooting at the train, and in the midst of that, you hear, Jeremiah! Jeremiah, come out here, you yellow son of a bitch!
Friends?
Yeah, Joe. These are the gentlemen I was telling you about back at the tavern.
Okay. Is there something you want to tell? Is there something else you want to tell me? What?
Well, they're not likely to take prisoners, so
Okay.
you may want to use that rifle of yours and just shoot everyone that's outside of this train right now.
Come out here and face me like a man, you yellow son of a bitch!
How many friends are we talking about here? Like,
Lots of gunshots.
It
huh?
could be quite a few, depends on how mad they were about that whole Marshall business down in Texas. But I assure you, they're shits for shots, and if we just hold up here, we should be fine. I need you to share that
man.
map if you want me to get the killing.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to call you out. Y'all are located currently in the train. These fellows is positioned all around behind the back of the buildings, along the fence line. He wants to talk to you in particular. You know it's me, Theodore Jeremiah.
Hmm.
Not everybody here has to die. Just you.
Teddy, why don't you ride on back to Texas, you ugly son of a bitch?
Why don't you come out here and tell me that, boy?
Why don't you come in here and ask, and I'll tell you right to your face.
You see this all? He's too yellow to come out here and face me square plumb man to man. Running again just like you always do, Jeremiah.
I'll come out, you tell the rest of them boys to get on out of here.
You heard him, boys. Put down your iron.
And he's gonna. I'll look at him and say, "If you are gonna go out there, let me do one last favor for you, given that you've been so gracious for me." And he'll kind of stick a little round circular thing, and it's gonna be the Von Steel smoke safety sphere, which is a lot of power. But so let me roll that real quick.
So you're gonna blow me up before I get out there?
Oh, you're good, man. You're good.
Yeah, that's a 4. That's perfect. That's shit.
That's good enough. So pretty much, let me make sure I got this read right. It just it's a little like a misty little thing kind of wrapping around you. It's not very visible, I guess, at night. And they're just gonna subtract 2 from any attack rolls. Any attack rolls that go against you are gonna be subtracted by 2.
Nice. Thank you.
And that's the duration of 5. I'm guessing 5 rounds. Is that what that means? Well,
Yeah, but that is all right because we are going to have ourselves a duel. Oh, yes,
Shoot out
we
at
is.
the OK Corral.
So,
Duel time.
The drama.
This is
Now
a
this-
stream first.
Stream first, yes, sir. So, duels in Deadlands play out a little differently than your standard gunfight. There is going to be a series of rounds that transpire in the form of hands of poker. Right? We're basically going to play Texas Hold'em until the first initiative step here. But let's get our poker table up and running. You'll notice there that there is one Jeremiah Decker and one Theodore Grissom. So, I've been waiting to do this for so long. First round is the face off, right? We are going to get dealt 2 cards each. So, we are locked in a test of wills. This means that we are going to make a single intimidation or taunt roll against our opposed intimidation or taunt roll, right? So intimidation would just be a steely-eyed stare, you know, or something like that, right? Maybe twirling the gun real fancy, right? And a taunt is quite obvious, right? So, Theodore Grissom here is going to taunt you. So he's going to roll his taunt versus your taunt. Well, no, what are you're going to intimidate or taunt? What are you going to do?
Intimidate.
Intimidate. All right, you roll your intimidate versus his taunt. Here we go. Ooh,
yes, sir.
man.
There you go.
I told you, Teddy, you should have walked back on out of here, back to Texas, son. This ain't gonna end well for you. And then I give him that classic cowboy hat downstairs. You know?
Oh yeah.
Shit just got real.
His hand goes down to his belt and he says, "You remember that girl Claire was sweet on you? We punished her right proper when you left. She didn't much care for that." Ooh.
Is he saying it loud enough for everyone to hear this?
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine y'all are gathered at the windows right now as this new companion.
Yes,
I mean, right, when most people, right, no, for sure.
Yeah, I grab my gun instantly the moment he talks about punishing the girl.
Right.
Like, for anyone who are inside there. So.
All right, so not tied. So no extra hole cards. We both succeeded, so we go again.
I raised though, right?
You did. Oh yeah, just raise shit.
It
I don't
said
know.
his straight roll was a natural one.
Oh yeah, and he failed altogether, didn't he? So he did fail. So we're moving on to the next step. Thank you for that. All right.
Even better.
Even better. So, poker hands. 3 cards on the table. Oh, no, not all hands. Just that
Nah.
hand. Thank you. All
Hey,
right, we got a.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think we might blow somebody's head off real quick.
What? No. We're
It ain't
dueling,
time for that
goddammit.
yet.
We're dueling.
Wait
I
till
want
it's
her
drawn.
to hear. I want her to hear.
Can I,
Oh,
just
her
free me
head.
from me,
Okay,
go.
that's fine. I thought you meant mine.
All right.
No.
So, got to make the best hand we can out of this. I'm sitting on a pair of jacks. You're on a jack high. So, I'm going to win the poker hand here. And,
There's two more cards to be drawn out here.
Yeah, he can call
well,
it at any point, though.
yeah, the first 3 face up. Yeah, so this is difficult here. If we were doing this with normal poker cards, right, like this would be a lot easier, but it doesn't allow me to look at my cards until I've revealed all the cards because I'm not the NPC or something. I might be able to set this up so I'm a PC.
Right.
But it doesn't really matter anyway because I lost the face off there. So now we're on the reach for it stage, right? So can choose to draw and shoot in a single action, taking the -2 penalty to the shooting roll, which I will because I don't have a quick draw holster or anything fancy like that, right? Plus,
Like me.
I'm going to get a -2 from Von Richter's Smoke Sphere, right? So I'm going to be drawing the shoot roll at a -4.
And you get a -2 for losing
Having-
the face off.
For having
Right.
lost the face-off, yeah. So I'm at a -6, right?
Oh shit.
I am... yeah, he's going to go for the -6. Fuck it. He's not the
Quickness
cautious
or
type.
accuracy?
Quickness is what he's doing. So,
Okay, gotcha.
gotta take that -6 on the shooting roll and draw first, which means that he's the criminal. Clear as day. Clear as day. So both of these are going to be resolved at the same time. But
What
now
is
we...
it, just a shooting roll?
Gunfire off -4. So you have the quick draw edge.
I have a quick draw holster. I think that's the only thing that.
That's the same deal. Yeah, alright, so yeah, you just do a normal shooting roll. And so damage works different too, but we will roll here, -6. Shooting. Oh boy. Why did that, it rolled a -6 over you, but it didn't actually roll the shooting roll on you? What's going on there? Come on, you can do it. Just, no, can't do it. Yeah, missed, there we go. Alright. Because of course he did. He fires a shot, it goes wide, hitting the side of the train. Just below where Victoria's peeping out looking.
Oh, no.
How'd I get a blue
The
chip?
drum. It's like I'm there. It's like I'm there.
That's the second time we rolled up, I think.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot him
Yep.
for real. Fuck.
Miss as well. Blam!
I'm gonna re-roll that with a fate chip.
Alright.
Man.
Seems like a good time to use one.
Right?
There we go.
Plug him.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Alright, so damage is normal because you lost the poker hand, otherwise you'd have an extra d6 on there.
All right, so damage coming.
Boom, shaken. Yeah, you winged him with your shot. And now it's normal initiative combat.
I'm gonna say, God damn it, Teddy, why did you have to come out here and make me do this?
Teddy believes that you made it do it to yourself, but it's him and then you, unless anybody else wants to. There was an exchange of gunfire. Theodore got winged. His pistol is raised and aimed at Jeremiah Ulysses Decker.
How are the windows in the train?
Closed. You'd have to shoot through them.
See, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, they're
But I
not the
thought
kind that,
one
you
of
know.
the windows got shattered.
Yeah, one of the windows got shattered next to you in between the... Yeah, you have a window you could shoot at, Joe, but a shit
Okay.
angle.
It's fine. Like, do I get a negative modifier to my shooting, or?
Yeah. You'd be at a negative
Okay.
2
You
for
get-
the shot.
You get a
Okay.
+2 because of that Joker that was drawn.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody gets a +2 or just Eliza? I thought it was just Eliza.
Just Eliza,
Oh.
but everyone gets a fate chip.
Everyone gets a fade chip. Yep, you're right.
Oh. My God.
So I got a blue fate chip.
Did it it automatically awards them. Excellent. All right.
Now I'm trying, so like on Fantasy Grounds right now, for some reason the only power it will show me the like actual written like words of is hunch. Like I cannot check my other ones for some reason.
They all work for
So-
me. That's weird. Do you have the... Well, no, if Hunch works, they should all work.
Yeah, it just only shows that. See, I have, okay, that one's better. I'm looking at Bolt, in
At Bolt?
particular. Do I just click the dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's, okay.
Oh, alright. So, Theodore Grissom is gonna take another shot at Jeremiah Decker. I don't know why he's not working in that there combat tracker. Oh, you know why? Probably because combat hadn't been actually initiated. Damn, trait roll was a natural one. He shoots wide. That wing shot didn't do him no favors. Jeremiah.
Do we get to jump in at all?
Yeah, you could have done so before Theodore. I was assuming people were taking their time, but yeah, and you're Joker, so you can jump in whenever. You could, the bullet could be in the air, and you could go, wait, that's Joker.
I'm gonna take a risk. Yes, I am.
All right. You're gonna kill this guy that Jeremiah was about to gun down an honorable duel.
But I might get put in jail. I don't know what to do. Okay.
Oh no,
Just hold off
no.
until-
Don't worry about
What
that,
about his
Eliza.
minions?
They would just hang you here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if I
I
see her
don't
like,
want that. So.
if I see her trying to jump in, I'll kind of wave
Yeah,
her
there's
off
no
with the sword.
jail in Selena's camp. No. Oh, you're sweet. No, they hang you.
I think I got this guy. He's shaking. I think I can lay him out right here.
So if I see her aiming to shoot, that's what I'm gonna kind of put my hand on it and say we should maybe let him handle this because of honor and all that. Yes, they seem to be former friends or some kind of thing. So maybe we should not interfere unless we absolutely need to.
She'll hold, but she's like staring this guy down, like with a look of death, like
Damn,
Oh,
Mama
and in
Bear,
fact,
huh?
like Reaper mode. She just doesn't. She wants to make this guy pay.
Well, with your Joker, if I miss, you can jump in right behind me before the next
Yeah,
round.
that's my
Yeah.
plan. Is after
So-
if he misses, I'm gonna jump in.
I blew a
Alright.
chip to unshake him, by the way. He didn't deserve
Oh,
that.
I'm about
I
to
figured.
reshake you. Don't worry about that. So my question is there anyone behind him?
I mean, his guys are kind of gathered, but they're honoring, you know. This is a
Are they,
time-honored
like-
ritual, the duel.
Are they in a cone behind him, or are they?
Yeah, I'll disperse throughout along that fence line. There's about 20 folk.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've wanted to do this for a long time.
Oh my
And,
god.
Well,
Fan the hammer,
sorry.
here we go.
I'm sorry to any of them folks back there, but we're fanning the hammer today.
Oh god.
Each shot suffers a -4 shooting modifier. But you can unload all 6.
Well, I would have 5 left in the gun.
Yeah, all 5.
Is it a
-4
negative
pop.
4 or negative 2?
-4 for all of them. It's the automatic fire maneuver.
And I roll all of them or just one?
Yeah, you roll all of them. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
And you
here
can
we
click
go,
just
folks.
action to 2 action, and it should give you -4 for each roll.
Oh. Let me do that.
Fan in the hammer. Gun at waist height.
Let me do a test die to make sure that that 2 action does it.
You'd
Yeah,
have
it's gotta
to
be a
actually
trait roll.
roll it. Yeah, it does.
Oh, apparently I have him targeted, but we won't count that one, even though
Right.
it
Yeah,
was
just
just a test.
-2 anyway.
All right, so we're gonna get 5 shots, right?
Yep. Oh, and yeah,
Okay.
do 3 actions. That'll give you the -4.
I was thinking I could put my damage die down in the bottom, or my shooting die, but anyway, here we go. 5 shots.
That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit.
What?
Fucking Christ, that's a
Yes.
hit.
Oh yeah.
That's a miss.
Jeez.
So
4
Yeah.
shots.
You light this
4 out
boy
of the
up.
5.
You
Now, is that-
light this boy up.
Is that just damage 4 times then?
That's damage 4 times, once double.
Once is doubled.
Yeah, so when you pull the damage, right click before you drop it on him.
Right click twice to add.
14. What is that? It's a D8. No, just once.
If I do it once, it adds 1d6.
Oh, yeah, then twice. Yeah, my bad.
Okay. Here we go. Big shot first.
Yeah. So,
Dude.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
boom, boom,
Damn.
Please.
boom,
He did.
boom,
Please tell me he did.
boom.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
So
it did
Jeremiah-
automatically do the bonus damage, and it is 1d6 for the race, so that was right. So you don't even have to worry about it. It'll calculate it.
Yeah, I mean, even without that extra d6 up there, he's done.
Yeah, no, yeah, he falls over, cursing your name with his breath. You know, and his guys go, well, shit, and dissipate quickly.
I spin the gun around, and then as it's going back around, I blow the smoke out of it, flip it back into my holster.
Let's get a shooting roll.
Another one.
Yeah, you want to be all fancy with it.
Hey, I do what I do.
Oh.
Hold on. That's at a -4.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was at
Okay.
a -4.
Okay.
There you go.
You whiff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Oh yeah, nice as you please.
So
Yeah. So he just gunned down a man that clearly drew on him first. So everybody kind of just goes back to their business at that. There is law in Salinas, Kansas, but it is law once a month in the form of the wandering sheriff / judge / executioner / taxman / bail bondsman / bounty hunter
Okay.
/ preacher.
Okay.
You know, so you don't got to worry about that scene. Elijah Bailey seemed strangely reassured by this. He watched this spectacle and saw the cool competence in which you stood down getting fired upon twice without even so much as flinching, and then just fanned the hammer, splattering this boy's personality all over the cobblestones of Salinas, Kansas. So, with that, the rest of the night is uneventful unless you guys still want to deal with these clockwork ants. But that'll happen after we take a 5-minute break because we are already somehow halfway through the show. What?
Oh man.
How?
What?
I don't know. It feels
Wow.
like it's been like 15 minutes.
I know.
That's it.
I know, it's a shame
Yeah.
that we only can do this once a week. I love this so much. We will be back in 5 minutes. Please like, follow, subscribe, whatever you do on here. Remember, you can do it with Amazon Prime for free, and the show's only going to get better and more involved. But like I said, we will be right back. And we're back.
Hello.
Second half of Deadlands Reloaded, the show that happens every Wednesday from 8 to 11 p.m. Central Time. And will only become more prolific and feature. What the fuck color is that goldfish? That was abnormal.
I'm sorry, I
They're the
distracted
rainbow
you.
ones.
I'm
That wasn't
sorry.
proper. That was like purple. I don't eat purple foods. Not since that ketchup incident in like 2003. You guys remember the green and purple ketchup?
Oh yes.
Bad
Uh,
times. I
changes your
almost choked.
changes your poop.
No.
I don't remember that.
I like how you cut out middle of the stream.
Right.
I just.
Every
I'm sorry for
Wednesday.
distracting you there.
Every Wednesday, you can see Deadlands, where we talk about things like the green and purple ketchup from 2003 that if you ate enough of, definitely dyed your poop.
May it
Not-
rest in peace.
Not that I'm speaking from personal experience, because that would be gauche.
This public service announcement.
Oh, so
Legit.
are you folks? I mean, at this point, the ants were kind of, there was a gunfight. Everybody was distracted for 20 minutes while an old-fashioned Wild West duel happened. So the ants are, where you to go inspect. They're not even there anymore. So.
Sneaky,
Jeez,
sneaky.
who's still in the freight train?
Everybody but Jeremiah Decker, who is staring at the still smoking corpse of his
Okay.
once friend and confidant, Theodore Grisham.
I'm gonna look at Richter and say, I owe you a lot of answers, but there's something I'm very worried about. I need to talk to you in private, not in the way you think it is, but in a just
And he's gonna kind of cock his head, and he's gonna be like, "Is that about the seizure you had, the eye
Thank you,
rolling
Jojo.
thing? Is that what you're talking about? Is that possibly what you're
Yes.
saying?
yes, that's what I'm
What other manner could you mean, Miss? I don't quite understand what you're referring to, but fine. Victoria can come; she won't understand you regardless. But yeah, sure. It's let's go over there, I
Chiste
suppose.
para ti.
I'm just gonna pat him on the shoulder like, oh, he's so adorable, and continue on, just towards
So-
whatever.
Have your conversation.
Okay, as like if we're in an area where I can shut the door, I'm going to say, okay. You see, I'm not from the Union, obviously. I'm trying to find my family, and I got stuck in Chicago. And look, I don't want to be in it. I appreciate that, but I feel like we have a vested interest on getting off this damn train. Uh, you know how you can use your brain and create these amazing machinations, these creative things that only you could dream of.
Yes, of course. I won the contest, as you clearly know. I won earlier. I was the winner. Everybody announced me the winner
That's right.
because I stopped the train.
That's right.
You saw it. Victoria saw it. They saw it. Everybody knows.
I have my own way of seeing what's not seeable.
You mean you can see in the dark?
I believe you would probably be thinking she was discussing some kind of gizmo.
Do those does your hats allow you to see in the dark? Is that what you mean? Do you have special goggles that come out of those?
No, I don't have special goggles. I have special cards. And I show him my deck of cards. And
They are
Like the
normal black and gold Hoyle playing cards.
He's gonna kind of look down, try to see through them. I don't see how you can see through these things and see anything, to be honest with you. But sure, go continue.
now I know it's not a spell, but can I charge them up so it like becomes spectral?
You
For a
want
minute?
to reveal to this fellow that you control a force of magic not related to the Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's true. Damn it. I'm gonna say. Oh, jeez, this is so.
Yeah, no, that's a sticky widget. No, you do not.
That
I mean,
is a sticky widget.
you're trying to explain to this guy, I got premonitions, you know, like maybe something like sometimes a spell just comes over me and the things that I delivered in these, you know, like I mean, but no, you definitely do not want to go like whoosh, yeah, I'm not of the devil, I
Okay,
swear, you know, no,
just-
no,
Not
No.
bad, I swear.
No,
because
don't know him well enough yet.
he is 1000% under the impression that his devices function because he understands science.
Oh.
He's wrong. He's wrong.
He's wrong.
But
I'm right. What are you talking about?
they have no connection whatsoever to
So,
any
like,
of the.
I kind of know what.
You know that there are forces that you commune with, that you engage in these psychic wagers with. You don't know the nature of them yourself. You just know they're extant because you have these deals. He is completely oblivious to that shit. He thinks that literally if he puts enough clock pieces together that it makes a little man that'll talk and eat and, you know.
I'm going to say, look, I
He's
have
not
my
Christian.
own. I have my own ways of magnificent creations, but
I
it's my
understand that.
head.
I understand that, Sirs. You're a little bit crazy like the other lady speaking about
I mean,
spoons.
you might be thinking she's talking about her trade at this point. I mean, the conversation is starting to. I do have my own magnificent creations. You know,
in
like.
my head.
Yeah.
In my head.
Yeah, all right.
Come on.
It's like, Miss, I care not for your profession, but yes. Well, so what does this have to do with the secretive nature of our meeting here? Why couldn't we just speak about this in front of the other one, the one that smells like manure?
Well,
she changed her pants.
She still got some skid mark going on, man.
And there is
I'm
the
sure
drinking
she's
water
gonna
/ wash basin that I'm sure she
she
cleaned
didn't
herself
have a
at.
handy wipe ready, okay?
No.
This is gonna haunt her for the rest of the campaign.
I mean, so
Yeah, but
again,
forget-
like it's not like you failed a
I
dice
understand.
roll. You-
I understand. I was being honest.
right? No,
That's
you
what's gonna
elected.
happen.
You elected to be
Yeah.
called Skidmark for the rest of the campaign. Yeah, you did.
Yes.
You did. You
And
chose
I'm
it.
owning it. I'm
You
owning
did.
it.
You were the one that changed it in the
are-
combat tracker. I don't understand the. You're like, I'm never gonna live this down. Of course you're not. You made it. You own it, girlfriend. Shit.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna say, look, people don't like the way I do how I am able to invent things. They don't know enough about it and they deem it bad because they do not know.
I care not for results. I just care for what's may come from it. And I understand what you're saying. It might be a little weird. Not everyone appreciates the nature of Ghost Rock. You can make a lot of things. You can make a big ball, you can make a little ball, you can make squares, you can make circles. But what I'm saying is a lot of people don't appreciate the nature. So I don't care what process go into it. What I want to know is what I guess it is that you would like to tell me.
Look,
Because right now there's a lot of secrets going on, and Richter von Steele does not care much for secrets.
At this moment, Lottie Galloway comes out of the train and says, "You guys are really standing right outside? Do you not see everything right around you?"
Area.
I mean, you were pulled away outside the train, but Lottie
Okay,
Galloway is not the kind of
gotcha.
gal that is super keen on privacy, right? Train's been stopped. There was a gunfight. She's come out now very cautiously, and you can't help but notice that she's giving a wide berth to the refuse can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell her, I believe there's spoons in the tavern. You might want to be careful with
You notice I'm not going to any saloons.
your.
What, do I look like a
Yeah.
suicidal? And again, laugh it up. You think Lottie doesn't know you're laughing at her?
Nobody's
Lottie gets
laughing at
it.
you.
Lottie gets
We
it.
are not laughing at you. Trust me.
There's all
Yeah,
sorts of dangerous things in this world that Richter does not understand, but to each their own. And I understand your paranoias for
you won't be
for.
laughing when you wake out your eyeballs gauged out by a medicine bottle.
Uh,
See.
thank you for that visual. Uh,
And there won't be no visual. That's what I'm saying. Your eyeballs will be gouged out.
yeah, I'm awake and I speak English, so I understand.
I'm glad that I'm conferring the breadth and the depth of the seriousness of the situation to you. Because it's not a joking matter. I know it sounds funny. I hear myself. Right? Me, a resolute Irish woman. Right? And I'm telling you right now, just be concerned about the inanimate objects. For your own good. You're hanging out here, there's a refuse can right there. There could be tins in there, discarded tins. The edges, they're sharp.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you ever cut yourself on a tin? I'm sure you have, and you know why? Because that tin was out to get you.
Okay. So,
The excitement has attracted the patent riddle, who appears to have been in a state of slumber. A gal comes out with him in a, kind of finishing a state of dress, and he goes, "Well, quite the commotion, huh?" Ha! Tips his hat up.
uh, I will walk towards the sleeper train.
Yeah,
Um, I'm gonna get out one of my cards.
as you do, you bounce into Private Judson Conrad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
He says, "Oh my, it's quite a state of affairs, isn't it? I find myself so worked up."
it is an awful sight I just saw, but
My
you know,
heart's just a flutter. I'm not used to all these foul goings-ons.
look, I feel lightheaded. I need to go take a nap.
Oh, I understand. Allow me to assist you. And he offers his arm.
Okay. There's no way I can write on my card and not have him see it.
He's right there. But I mean, writing on a card. There's nothing conspicuous about that, darling. Oh, you taking notes for later? I would too.
I'm going to just because it's insufferable, and but I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna be like, okay, we just gotta get off the train. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Patton
And
Riddle
I'm
walks
gonna.
over and says, "I think you're bothering the lady." Ha! And kind of pushes himself in between them. "You look faint, ma'am. Could I help you back to my car?" The gal that he was with she's just laser eyeing you right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I'm very tired. I just need to go, uh, just be by myself. It was an
And
ungodly sight.
Judson Conrad kind of interjects again. He goes, "Yes, I was helping the lady back to her car. Now, if you would excuse us, good sir."
Can I see that Eliza is being really agitated by these two men?
Yes.
Okay, I tug on your face's sleeve, and I just point over and say, "¿Puedo ayudar? ¿Me necesita?"
He's just gonna shrugs.
Patton Riddle says, "I speak a little Mexican. Bueno. Bueno, muchacha."
She'll run over to Eliza and grab both of her hands and kind of like put them in her hands and just like do like a really fake giddy laugh. ¿Me puede ayudar en mi carta? Vamos, podemos ir y le puedo dejar en su carta. Adiós.
Yeah, I'm gonna say adios.
And I
Just
mean, at that,
leave.
Judson Conrad and Patton Riddle, they kind of got nothing. They both go, "Oh hell," you know. Like, I mean, they were just cockblocked. She wingmanned you. Yeah, no,
Yep.
you're out the
Total.
situation. But
See ya.
before you can get on the train car, Judson Conrad rushes over. There's a puddle about yay big across. He takes out a silver handkerchief or a silk handkerchief and flutters it and lies it down on the ground there and says, "Oh, I simply couldn't let you do without, ma'am. You have a spectacular evening."
Oh, well, thank you very much. And
Do you step on the kerchief, or do you just like easily step
Over
over
it.
it? Over it? Oh.
Over it.
Yes.
I stomp on it.
Yeah. So her many paramours resolved. What's everyone else doing?
Joe's gonna wander over to JD and just kind of slam her hand, not slam, but like drape her arm around his shoulder and be like, "So where'd you learn to shoot like that?" As a kind of, and she could like they could start heading towards the train, I guess.
And Rick is gonna awkwardly do the try to emulate what she did, try to be smooth about it, and he's just gonna just gonna be like, "Great shooting, friend." So
Come on,
you know,
Richter.
those...
Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh man.
You know
Add
what?
a,
I'm
add a
calling
negative
it.
2, actually.
God
Oh
damn
God.
it. It's bad enough.
I did just kill a man.
You did just kill a man, and you're walking over there all, good sir, you know, like, yeah, you're out your element. No, so you walk over to go pat him on the back, and you trip over the dead guy's boot and kind of fall on him.
Crawl over and just say, as
Oh
you
no,
know,
not completely prone. No, just to stumble into him, you know.
kind of roll over, stand up,
Whack.
wipe himself off, wipe off his top hat a little bit. As you know, those ants were in your employer's thing as well, and I know you're having some trouble with him as well. So might be, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, sir. Yes, but just maybe something he might be able to handle, similar to those other scorch marks in the train, as you recall. But I figured I would let you know, given that you did the courtesy of opening that door, and then he'll turn around and try to walk back into his little cart.
Good God, man, says Sir Clyde Reed Cannon. We must leave. Have you not seen these bandits afoot? His large mustache just a quiver. There'll be no layover in Salinas tonight. The train will leave immediately.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about them boys. They won't be back tonight.
Says you? I was in the dining car and a bullet nearly ended my repast completely.
Yeah, well, that sumbitch couldn't shoot, I'll tell you that much.
I didn't even have time to activate my... And he storms back into the train. So yeah,
Let's
the
go
train
find us some
is
liquor, Joe.
train is gonna take off.
So who is that guy?
That was the short round English gentleman.
No, I was talking to JD,
Oh, yeah, okay,
the guy
yeah.
who shot.
Oh, yeah,
Who's
no,
that guy?
That there was Teddy Grisham. He's well, he's a mean son of a bitch. Him and his wife, they're both in this gang that I have some dealings with down south, called the Bandoleros.
Bandoleros.
Now that I left him out there in a puddle of his own shit and piss, I imagine they're going to be coming again.
How they know where to find you here?
One of them little mysteries of life, I suppose. Don't worry about it. Let's get some drinking.
Well, I just want to know, just so I need to watch my back a little closer, you know? Get close.
I appreciate you staying in the train and watching my back. I appreciate you watching out, Joe.
I mean, I figured I was hoping you'd hold your own, and you held up to it. You shoot better than you throw cuffs, so.
You've had my back since Chicago, and I do appreciate it.
I love this bromance.
I feel they're very awkward with each other, just kind of like.
Well, yeah.
Men show up at train like this.
We bond over beating the shit out of people.
That was mighty fine shooting, I reckon. no homo, you know. there's a bunch of hugs that are just 3 pats on the back with the hips really far apart, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm not gay. Yes.
And then like a punch, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
The good old football. Good game.
Right.
Slap
Ass slaps.
Right, no, but it is intensely homoerotic somehow still, despite all the, there's something about it, yeah.
Like the beginning of a fan fiction.
We will accept all slash, by the way. If you want to submit slash fic, fuck, I'll read it on
Yeah.
stream. Let's do it.
Do it.
Don't challenge me. Oh my god.
I'm only saying it because there's just 8 people here right now. If we had like 50 people, there was no way I would make that proposition.
And then watch people catch.
Von Steele's glistening member catches the moonlight, you know? I mean,
Oh god.
I'm just saying, it would get dark real quick. Yeah, no, there is a lot of innuendo there, isn't there, Umachika? I like your handiwork, cowboy. Pretty good with your pistol. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, wait, alright. This has gotten weird and off track. But we will fix that by starting up this here train.
All aboard!
Didn't the male conductor like die though?
You know, so I programmed these sound sets last week before you lit all floppy arms. Well, no. So you never found the conductor. We're assuming he's dead, but you did definitely kill the boiler man. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
We
not
did
only
not kill him. We just didn't save him.
Cletus ship. There you go.
Gone but not forgetting. Not
The
forgotten.
outline of Cletus's glistening member, highlighted by the moonlight, revealing a dapple suppleness that unnerved Doggy.
Stop. No.
As Flappy Arms slowly undressed.
Flappy Arms struggled with the buttons on his blouse.
Train's going.
That's acceptable.
I call this the stranger, Flappy Arms says.
Oh.
Okay, now the train's actually going.
And now back to our regular programming.
Programming. Can we see the
No.
program? Can you do one more time?
This is gonna be like X-rated now.
I want to say this will be edited out, but we all know it's not. It's not.
The stranger one more time, please. Just one more
No,
time.
I call this the stranger. Is this how you like it?
All right, come on. The train's moving.
Yeah, we only got 3 hours.
JD shoots a horse. What are we doing?
Oh man. Oh, okay.
Okay, here's a train. It's going someplace. There are no sloppy hand jobs
That you know of.
that I'm aware of.
Which way is the train headed? Are we headed west still?
You're headed west from Salinas to Dodge, Kansas.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. Alright. See, now we're serious again. We're good. We're back. Alright. And we're really back.
Rose.
I promise we're back. Alright. So, the train travels overnight and through the morning without any events. I mean, it's perfectly normal for the first time since the trip started. You guys are on a functioning train headed from point A to point B. Mike, something about the look on your face, bro. I can't even look. I'm just trying to block out.
I'm just
All
taking
right.
notes about Flappy Arms. I like to keep notes on the whole episode, so.
You're gonna have to scratch that up, man. Just like 3 lines.
The fucked up part is that I have to watch this again, you know, before next week. I watch every episode, so it's gonna be like 20 minutes of like, hey guys, dick joke, you know? But, okay.
These are things that happen.
There was something else that happened, but I get the feeling that's the bit that's gonna be clipped. Like that's the
Probably.
highlight of the
Yeah,
week there.
sure.
Oh,
Oh my god.
So,
welcome to Wednesdays.
welcome to Wednesday. Well, I mean that was unusual even for Wednesday. That's a piece de resistance right there.
Mhm.
Oh,
Trying to
flappy
hammer
arms
gift
though,
jokes.
man. That is a joke that has kept giving. Like from episode 1, I mean, it has just evolved now through so many forms. Like his name was Chet, by the way, Chet Atkinson. And if you'll recall, he had a freshly born daughter and a 9-year-old son, who I believe we named Samuel, who was going to go into the rail industry
Sammy
like
and
his
Tina,
pappy.
wasn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, it was
And then, oh, Tina? Yeah, Tina's the youngster. Yeah. It's good that you
Oh,
remember. Yeah, Joe Murderer.
Like it's in my brain
Oh
now.
my god.
Yeah.
Shit
But-
stain and child murderer.
Yeah.
It
Whatever.
doesn't count if you were trying to help them.
Doesn't
That's what
it though?
doctors
I
say
mean,
all the time.
when you tell a 9-year-old that, he's trying to lift up that big old daddy rifle, No, you do have the hindrance minor enemy, and by that I mean your enemy is a minor. I mean he's 9. That's no, but
Oh
So
my god.
anyway,
mid-afternoon, first day out of Salinas, the express leaves behind the vast farmland of eastern Kansas and enters the open prairie. And suddenly, shouts and carrying on can be heard from one of the passenger cars. It doesn't sound like panic. It sounds more like boisterous, like weird science cock measuring.
Is it the freight car?
Huh? No, it's a passenger car. Ford passenger car, the one in the very front of the train.
I'd assume we'd go up there, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
go
I'll
there.
walk up there and
Victoria.
stand next to the
I'll go
door.
there. I will have my finished written note ready to pass on. Hopefully, so I don't. So that
Excellent, and
doesn't
everybody
happen
dies.
again.
Flappy arms ghost, no. So yeah, the Ford passenger car is an uproar by the time you get there. Scientists hurry every which way with big grins on their face. You can overhear bits of conversation. They revolve around things like accuracy and killing power. With various weapons, both mundane and weird, clutched in eager hands, the inventors exit the end of the car and climb onto the roof.
The roof.
The roof.
I'll head
The
up
roof
there.
of the train car.
Okay.
on fire.
I'm assuming we're kind of like in a wide open space now, right? Going through Kansas. Nothing too.
Yeah, this is just open prairie. Oh, thank you for that. Whenever it shows me who it was. Ooh, new subscriber even. Friday Freeze, thank you for the resub. You rock, buddy. Excellent. So, let's set this scene more apropos.
Thank you,
Get you
Drew.
guys some train car. Oh, did Drew just sub
Thank
too?
you.
Oh, you
Thank
He
you.
guys.
gifted it. He gifted this up.
Oh, he gifted it. Uh-oh. That's the first
Oh.
gift sub of the channel, Drew Noble.
Yeah.
Coming through like a
Yeah.
boss. Laka. So you guys find yourself on the train car, and I need to get all kinds of people up here. So we need Sir Clyde Reed Cannon. Laka. We need Sylvester Lincoln Tate. Laka.
Huge Mexican. Oh yeah, that's right. Giant Victoria.
Every dog it has its day. Oh no. Oh
I love
no.
that.
Oh,
It's the name of the fanfic.
Oh no. Every dog it has its day.
Yes.
Well, the fan art is going to be real interesting.
Yep.
You
It-
best believe.
It is a mature stream. I mean, yeah, we gotta get Mexican in there too. It's yeah.
The Mexican is not included.
Every
You have to
dog it
buy
has
the
its
expansion
day.
pack.
Oh my god. Now
So
that's
we're
just
on the
stuck
roof
in
of
my
the
mind. I'm
train.
trying to paint this scene here, and then I glance down, and just the best fucking slash fic title ever in the universe. That's 2 weeks in a row, Umachika, that you've totally derailed the stream with something that was amazing. Alright, and then we need Private Judson Conrad as well. So that will be the lot of them. HK Dial and Lottie Galloway are not on the roof of
They're
the train.
not there?
Mm-mm. Everybody else is,
Ooh.
though.
Shit, that doesn't work with my plan.
And the Hellstromme rep, of course. So let's reveal these, and we will change to the play screen so that our lovely audience can see the train top as well. And you know, this isn't quite... There we go. I mean, you're on top of a moving train there. I need some So yeah, the rolling grassland to the north of the train is filled to bursting with buffalo. Some of them are literally like 5 feet away from the train, sitting there in a placid and docile state, as buffalo are wont to do. Gathered inventors are currently placing bets on which various weapons and shooters and whose is going to be the most accurate and who can kill the most buffalo with a single shot, right? And Private Conrad, who, let me just make sure I have his voice right. So many characters. Yes, Private Judson Conrad, looks over at Eliza O'Day, and he says, "Oh, Eliza, Miss O'Day, you don't need to fret about accuracy when you have the Conrad meat grinder at your side, right?" And he turns into the wind, right, and raises a vaguely barrel-shaped weapon. He flicks a switch on the side, right, and he says, "Stand back, y'all," and it starts to emit a ghost rock haze, and it cracks and belches smoke, right, and instantly a dozen buffalo, which went 20 yards, topple over dead, pierced by hundreds of bits of shrapnel. The other inventors nod to each other. "Oh, yeah, damn, that was pretty good." He goes, "How was that, y'all?" And they stay, you know, applause going around, and the Hellstromme rep makes a notation, you know. His facial expression unchanged, mind you, but definitely wrote in his book at the response. So, does anybody want to try their hand at killing some buffalo with a weird science device?
Yeah. Quick question. Can I use red chips to restore power point? Or blue chips?
Oh shit, I forget that mechanic, if I'm being honest with you.
I think a white chip can, but I don't know if the blue chip.
Let me take a gander. Well, blue chip can do anything a white chip can do, automatic, so
Okay,
you don't have
so
to worry about that.
Question,
Yes.
like, do we regain our PowerPoints back over time? Or is
You
it...
do, and that's something else that we actually have been meaning to look at, because it doesn't happen, you know, full-time overnight.
It depends on hours
Right.
for the different magic users.
And it has been 12 hours since the last incident at this point. Well, actually 16 hours. So let's take a gander there. Not at powers. Making heroes. I know this is super exciting, audience, but this is part of learning the intricacies of the system. And it's the first time we've had to deal with it, honestly, because, you know, these guys normally just kick ass without any set. Alright, fate chips, gunfights, tools. Let's look at fate chips first. Red chip, D6, and against critical failure, white, reroll, trait roll, nothing about powers there. But I know you guys have spent some time and you do regain powers. And I keep forgetting that Victoria needs to do a ritual every night. But, setting rules, not hanging, not gambling, not duels. My god. Where is the section? It's probably under making heroes, isn't it? No.
I don't think I've seen it.
It might be in... I don't know if it's in the regular one or not. I know, like, the arcane one, I thought was in the regular.
Well, you guys look through the player's handbook for that. I don't want to take too much time on it, and just stop me when you find it. But Richter Von Steele, for the sake of this demonstration, we can negate a PowerPoint roll if that's a point of concern.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have like 6, but I want to shoot off a couple of beams.
Oh yeah,
right?
go nuts, go nuts. This is a narrative.
Okay, so he's just gonna kind of look at him and put on a smirk and say, very impressive. Yours is a matter of bulk, but see, mine is a matter of accuracy. And as the winner of the former contest, I would like to show you what I can do as well. And he'll,
Hellstromme rep raises an eyebrow at the winner of a former contest remark, but says nothing.
what was I the winner of? I forgot what the fuck I won, but I know it was a winner. Anyways.
In our hearts.
And oh, thank you. Anyways, he's gonna go ahead and reach to his little backpack and crank it up as high as he can. So start whirling and clicking, and he's just gonna fire off. We'll say 12. That could be 3 at a time. 6. All right, we'll say he can shoot off 9 of them. He'll shoot off 9 beams. You want me to roll
9
those?
beams. Yeah, give me just 9 shooting rolls.
Okay.
Since you bragged about accuracy. Oh, and let's have them at a -1 since you're on a moving train.
Okay, and that's accuracy. That's gonna be weird science, right?
Yep. Weird science.
Weird science. Here's the first one.
The dog-it days, the all or nothing days.
It shouldn't be 3.
The dog is
Hold on, let me do that again. I fucked up.
Redemption de Muertos Rojas, a dog-a-day afternoon penny novel.
Okay, there's the first one. You want all 9, or you just want me to do both?
9 seems like a lot. But we'll call that. Yeah, you take out the vast majority of buffalo you were aiming at with your 9 beams. They sizzle and crackle, and fall to the ground. Quite deceased.
Shooting them in the stupid buffalo heads.
Huh?
Instead of shooting them in their stupid buffalo heads.
And their stupid buffalo heads thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean the other buffalo don't even run. These are Wild West buffalo, not even from the actual universe, but from the movies. I mean, if you were to throw a tin can over the side, you would kill 6 of them. It would just ricochet. It's they're not terribly difficult to slay creatures. Hellstromme rep notes your that's and Sir Clyde Reed Cannon goes and he says the modifications to my pistol make it most accurate indeed, and he fires it straight up in the air 6 times, and 6 buffalo fall over dead.
That's fancy.
Yeah. That is fancy. And Patton Riddle has been screwing together this device from a crate that he had one of his helpers drag up to the top of it, because Patton Riddle, manual labor isn't really Patton Riddle's deal, right? And he's grinning. Before any of you all even ask him what his gun can do, he goes, "It's not a gun." Not in the conventional sense, because air-delivered munitions are a different sort of animal, right? And the great white hunter lifts the bulky tube-shaped device onto one shoulder and peers through a targeting reticle that falls out in an intricate series of clockwork. And he goes, "That's right, folks," his finger tightening on the trigger. "Someday you'll be able to shoot it and cook your meat at the same time." And with those fateful words, he squeezes the trigger and is engulfed in a huge ball of flame. So, first things first. Oh, Patton Riddle.
The back blast blows him off the train and he dies.
There is nothing left of Patton Riddle.
Is the ant guy not up there? The guy that had the ant?
No, he's not up here. No. Patton Riddle is a smoldering. I mean, the roof of the passenger car is blown open, right? He fired the gun, right, to kill some buffalo, and it exploded on him. The gun just, boom, it blew up, and now it is raining a mist of Patton Riddle down. I guess the car behind you guys are moving forward, physics. Right, there's like one of his feet in a boot. Yeah, oh yeah.
So I'm assuming we noticed the crate, right? We just noticed the crate. We noticed the crate that they brought up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite. In fact, the train with the explosion is rocked, And who was just standing next to him? Sir Clyde Reed Cannon. Right, let's see if Sir Clyde Reed Cannon had time to put up his defensive shield. Oh yeah, he did. You see, right before it happens, Clyde Reed Cannon goes, and the explosion like washes around him. Right, but Patton Riddle is just literally a smoking crater. The whole roof is blown open in that circle, and the train comes to a halt because,
Will,
I am
yes.
pushing my way
a
towards
natural
Richter.
one.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, never mind. Sir Clyde Reed Cannon did not get his shield up in time because I keep forgetting trait rolls, which is brutal. So,
I'm so happy that Patton Riddle died. Sorry.
I mean, me too.
Ha! Makes sense. So that's 2.
One riddle he couldn't solve.
Oh lord, yeah. Sir Clyde Reed Cannon is half of his body is gone. When he turns around, it's just one leg, and the rest of him is just vaporized, and he falls with a wet thump to the top of the car, and then his shield activates.
Well, at least it protects that half, I guess.
Couldn't get it up.
Come on.
No, we
Not
moved on
again.
from this.
I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I couldn't.
So it's pretty clear that the mechanical ants have sabotaged Patton Riddle, and I'm not even slightly
Everybody.
mad about it.
I mean, I don't care about that, but
Well,
I'm
now, so
pushing
some
my-
of the inventors demonstrated devices that seemed to function just fine, right? That gun killed all the buffalo. Nothing happened with Von Steele's. Then again, Von Steele was carrying that device on his person
On
the whole
him.
time.
So like,
it wasn't-
and Patton Riddle's was in a crate that he got out, right?
That was, yes.
So that would have been in the freight car. Oh yeah, I'm pushing my way towards Richter. 100%.
Yeah, well, you guys have plenty of time because the train is now stopped in the middle of fucking nowhere, bloody
Great.
Kansas, with one of the cars half
Kansas.
exploded.
That's
and
not
I'm
good.
gonna climb down.
One half of one passenger car is just disintegrated.
You said the Hellstrom rep is up there. Oh yeah, he's up there too. Oh
Mhm.
fuck. What's he doing?
He's taking note.
This motherfucker just blew up and he's like, oh.
He's my kind of dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, all right, so this is what he does. He goes,
Fair enough.
Valid.
And so I guess Rick is gonna he knows for the most part what happened, right? He's gonna kind of play it off and just kind of say, I guess he wasn't that good of an inventor to begin with, was he? Nervously, kind of you know.
well, clearly not. Are you okay, Miss Day? Oh, did that elf endanger you?
No, look, I'm fine.
Oh, your
this-
hair is a miss, and he brushes a little hair off the side of your face. Such a shame for such a lovely visage to be obstructed by such rough days.
She's just gonna breathe for a second and just get the calm back of the demeanor and just
Now, as a southern lady, you have encountered quite a few of these plantation boys. You know,
Oh,
this
yeah.
isn't your first. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not my first rodeo and it certainly won't be my last.
Yeah.
But
Well, not with those Watley looks, for sure. No, that's an issue.
it is an issue. It's always been an issue. Yeah, I'm going to go closer to the blast. And just like give him a pat on the arm, make him feel special, and get closer to Richter, where I'm going to hand him a card.
Richter, Gal's presenting you a card.
I'll try to stealthily take it because I know she knows about the crate.
Let's get a stealth roll. Let's
Me
get a
too?
stealth roll opposed by Private Judson Comrade's notice roll.
Lowered.
And depending on how
Well,
this, I'm gonna
it's
use
real, guys.
I'm gonna use a blue chip there.
Man, you guys are blowing through these chips 2 weeks. Now we have adventure cards too. Don't forget.
That adventure card's not gonna do me any good. I promise you. There we go.
Oh, well, that isn't actually a -4, so let's just try that again. Oh, he's always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Okay, so minus a 6.
So, yeah, no, he doesn't notice the handoff. He's too transfixed.
And they're just kind
She's
of
such
turning
a
around.
shrinking violet, he says to himself. She's not going to wilt away from me.
What does the card
No.
say?
The card says HK Dial is not using weird science. It's something else.
Each what?
HK Dial
Dial.
Oh.
is not using weird science.
Mm-hmm.
He's using something else.
I mean, he's kind of grown fond of Jeremiah here, and they're kind of in the same predicament. So he'll walk over to him and kind of show him the card and say, "What do you make of this?" He'll whisper to him, kind of looking away, trying to hide it a little bit as well.
There is suddenly a second explosion from the other passenger car. This one coming from the interior of the car. And you can hear Lottie Galloway going, "Oh my gods! Oh my gods!"
We gotta save Lottie. She's the best.
Can't lose her.
Don't put on that
Can't lose her.
headdress.
Don't do it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because should any of you go over to Pier at the hole in the car, you can see her trying to place the headdress on a fairly bisected, I suppose would be the best description of Sylvester Lincoln
Oh.
Tate. Yeah, he's cut in half.
Boy.
Like, and the top half is still doing stuff, you know? And she's trying to put the hat on him. Stay still! Stay still! I told you not to take the tea service!
Oh, gosh.
That's
Yeah. She's gonna stop.
All
All
right.
She's gonna say, "Make sure that everything's connected. I think that explosion might have shook some wires loose."
Shit just got weird.
That's what he's gonna shout to her. That's what we're just gonna shout to her.
Question.
Yeah.
Has everyone filtered off the roof yet?
No, most people are still standing there, yeah.
Okay.
It was Lottie Galloway and Sylvester Tate that hadn't come up along with HK Dial. You know where Lottie Galloway and what's left of Sylvester Tate are. But now here's the scenario. If Lottie Galloway puts that helmet on that guy's head and hits that switch, you guys know it was in that freight car. Mike tried to steal it last week.
That did happen.
Yeah. So can I yell that to her over the opening and just tell her to check the wirings because it might have popped loose with the explosion? And I could have sworn I seen some spoons and some forks in your box as well, and some damn utensils in that box.
This perks her right up. I am going to take her repair skill. Let's see here. Yeah. Wait, Sir Clyde Reed Cannon. No, Lottie Galloway.
Yeah, Cannon's dead.
Oh, he dead. Yeah, and that's a shame because I really liked Cannon.
I did too.
Yeah,
he was a nutcase, but I loved him.
She notices that two of the wires were crossed in such a way that the ghost rock capacitor would have fed back into itself and promptly exploded. And she goes, "Is my own inventions against me?" She's stunned by this revelation. "Oh my god, it's an inanimate object too," and she throws it away.
Yes.
How long will it close? JD's gonna walk over to Eliza and be like, "What do you mean not using?"
Well, now she passed a note, so you didn't hear that.
I passed
I
it.
saw the
yeah,
note.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my bad.
So I'm just gonna walk over, and where no one else can hear me, I'm gonna ask, what do you mean he's not using weird science, or however the note was written? Sorry.
She's kind of gonna look to the side for a minute to see if there's any little ants, little nosy little bugs, just in case. And then she's going to say, I know a lot, but all I'll say is what he's using, no one has the idea of the power it holds.
What I'm saying is I'm cryptic as fuck.
Yeah.
Jeez,
JD's
tell
gonna
me
look at you
about it.
quizzically.
I
For a
don't trust
second.
y'all yet. I
What
can't
I'm
just say,
saying is
I'm a
actually
wizard.
nothing at all.
I'm
Sometimes
gonna
ships pass in the night, and sometimes those ships have intentions, and those intentions can be deciphered in a fashion that one could attribute to something that might be construed as negative.
lean in real close and I'm gonna say, look here, Miss O'Day. I saw your face plastered all over Chicago. I need to know what's going on this train.
He did, in fact,
I
see
got
your face plastered all over the wanted posters in Chicago. He, in fact, knows the exact dollar amount that you're wanted for by the union. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure he could unfurl one of those posters from the post office and show you. Would you be interested in the particulars?
indeed.
I will say, we need to talk somewhere private. I will tell you.
Joe,
Private.
Victoria, we haven't heard from you in just, well, I'm not sure. I shouldn't say a coon's age because I'm pretty sure that's racist. It's appropriately, like, thematic, but
Wow.
yeah.
Only if you make it.
Well, I mean, I honestly don't know the I mean, raccoons don't live that fucking long, right? It can't be talking about raccoons there. I'm just saying. Not to over-examine the, etymological origins of the turn of the
Okay.
phrase, but you guys haven't contributed in just gee golly heck a while. So, Joe,
Yeah,
what? I mean, this fucking spectacle.
Well, it's not mystical. I'm like, it's technology, it's ghost rock. So
Yep.
she's just like,
You play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
It's whack.
just so you know, a coon's age is about raccoons.
Oh, thank God. All right, so you guys haven't gone in a coon's age. There we go. Please subscribe.
well, since they're having their little powwow over there.
We're not racist, we promise.
Promise.
We promise. Two-thirds of us are people of color, so you know.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and I'm married to a raccoon. We're fine.
And my wife's 5'1". If she was 2 feet shorter, she'd legally be a little person. So I'm doing my part.
Anyway.
We'll cut
Anyway,
that bit
Joe.
out. We'll cut that bit out. Yeah, Joe. Shit's exploded everywhere. Victoria, shit's exploded everywhere.
Is it every 24 or every 12 hours that I have to?
Every
Pray to
24,
my-
every night, 1 hour.
Okay, cool. So it's only been 16 hours.
Yeah, no, you're still good.
Even pray.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I gotta think on this one. Madre de Dios,
Bye. Dios mío, bye.
Vio con Dios.
Well, you got plenty of blood and bones up here to.
Oh yeah, man.
Do
I
your
mean,
ritual.
you're picking little bits of patent out of your hair. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's happening. Just sneaking some of it in my bags for later. And I'm kind of interested because these are obviously two scientists that had some pretty good stuff. Frankly, exploded on them. So, maybe I can just like peek in there and be like, that's a weird mechanism.
so it is just, yeah. There isn't really enough of the mechanism. I mean, so part of Pat and Riddle's gun is lodged in the roof of the car, right, where it exploded downward and pierced through the metal,
Okay.
right? And that could definitely be like examined by somebody that, could look at. I mean, you could walk up to anything and go, all right, is this, this looks fancy, but I'm not sure it's in the realm of Victoria's. It's not in your wheelhouse,
Right, yeah. Then, God, I don't think she would know where these guys' rooms would be, right?
Well, their rooms would be in the sleeper car, right? And each one of them has a label. You could definitely, you could go back there, but I mean, they'd probably be locked.
Snoopy mission, Snoopy mission, Snoopy mission.
If only
Because
someone
I
had
wanna go-
lockpicks.
Yeah, if only someone was accomplished at thieveries. Yeah,
If only someone could translate.
I need that.
right. Well, I mean that can be accomplished, can't it?
I don't want to talk to that southern guy.
That hurts.
No, just have that chance to blow your head off, so you can be like, yeah, let's go loot the rooms. You know?
Well, I mean,
I can make it happen for you. Make all
She's-
your dreams come true.
that's the plan. That's Plan D.
Also,
Right now,
so pretty much everybody was aware that HK Dial's Clockwork Ants were all up in the freight car, sabotage shit, and now half the contestants are dead.
that's a thing. Yeah.
That's probably the primary. If I was the character in this universe, I would be like, well, that's something we would take issue with, right?
Yeah. Can I go
I
down
mean-
there and fix your little recovery helmet? Because I want that dude alive.
Did I mention that he was cut in half, split in twain?
You know,
You
she
did.
really like built this thing up and
Yeah.
told me there was.
Yeah, no, you can go down there. Give me a athletics to make your way through the ruined hole in the top of the passenger car. The pressure differential blew the doors. Like, yeah, you're. Oh yeah, surprisingly, Von
Yeah.
Richter kind of lets himself down from the ledge and hangs for a second, even though it's like 2 inches further than that to the ground, and drops. You know, and you're in the car, and you can give me a repair roll. Yeah, no, you also. Oh, never mind. Fuck.
No. Using this thing here.
Oh my god. Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Propped right up. Yeah, you can obviously see that the ghost rock capacitor wiring was inverted, and that if you just replace A and B with each other, once again the feed will be, you know, positive to negative, and yeah. Lottie Galloway says, thank you. I'm not. I don't think I could touch it right now.
Keep it.
That's all I'm
What?
doing, I guess, and tell her to kick it on or whatever.
No, sir. No, sir.
How do I? How do?
You just flick the big switch that says turn on Lottie's Healify hat.
And he'll go over and flick on the heal of fire.
Yeah, so, it's working, right? He's definitely getting healed by the process. The problem is his bottom half is separate from his top half currently. So the wounds are healing, right? But he's not healing together currently. They're fusing shut. The top half is, and the bottom half is just kind of sitting there, you know, not
Is he
affected.
still alive at this
Yeah,
point?
no, he's super conscious. He's delirious from blood loss. You know, his head's lolling about and whatnot. But he's not like, yeah. Somebody might want to kick his legs over or something, you know.
Can we kind of?
Yeah.
You're gonna lift up his
That's
legs
for
and
Joe.
stick him to
Catholic
the
girl.
bottom there. Yeah, hope it's not too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
stitches back together, but he has a 2-inch divot, you know, where he started
Look,
to
Victoria's
fuse.
a good Catholic, so I see what Von Richter's trying to do. So I will do that and
Yeah,
help him
you'll
out,
push the
but
legs
I will
up.
Also, yeah, I will also kneel beside him where he's still conscious and just pray.
Give me an
just
acrobatics roll. Oh man, the ground in here is slick with blood.
Never mind, I might just like.
Jeez. Head first in the goo.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Got it.
Hey.
Yeah,
Or not.
no, you definitely, yeah, fantastic. That's a 5 on a raise. But that's all that matters. Yeah, no, you slip, catch your footing, and one of your feet actually kicks the lower half of his body close enough that it starts to stitch together. Yeah, you like sprawl a little in the slick of the blood, and it does the job.
Awesome. Victoria isn't like hoping that this will be a miracle machine, so she's still gonna kneel beside him and pray for him to like happily and painlessly pass away. So she's just praying in Spanish, you know, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, you are going to be disappointed then, because in the span of about 10 minutes, it stitches his two halves back together. Mind you, with the, like, all the way around his entire waist, right, there is like a divot, right, where it started to fuse and then was kicked together and then grew together. So he's probably going to need a special device. He does,
He's
he
a
does,
little
yeah.
taller.
It's like
So
he
people
removed his
often-
bottom 2 ribs, you know what I mean? But
Waist
so
trainer.
there it is. There it is. He's gonna look so fly in the corsets when he wakes up.
Oh yeah.
But
Going for a 16-inch.
right. But he is probably going to wake up. Yeah. I mean, he finally loses consciousness, but his vitals are stable, according to Elijah Bailey, who checks on him and gives him a tincture. Speaking of giving tinctures, Elijah Bailey says that, well, it seems like the number of competitors has drastically dwindled. I like my odds, but that being said, you two are going to need to tank these. And he hands you a leather satchel filled with tonics. There is a tonic entitled Bailey's Refreshing Tonic. There is a tonic entitled Elijah's Little Pick-Me-Up. There is a tonic entitled Vim Juice. And then finally, a bold red glass bottle entitled Crimson Steer.
That's hot.
Did you say them juice, right? Like
Vim. V-I-M.
Vim?
As in Vim and Vigor.
Oh. Okay, them. Okay.
It'll put pizzazz in your step.
Okay.
Well, no,
And
that
that's-
one will make you preternaturally strong. But, you know, that's beside the point.
Who did he hand these to?
Both you. Just a satchel.
Myself and Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, take these and save some of them in case the rest of my examples don't make it to the symposium.
Yes,
you will
I
have
will
to
be sure to hand them over.
Oh no, my good boy, you'll be a living example.
Flappy arm strikes again.
Oh, cash on delivery.
COD indeed, my boy.
Well, I want to pull Miss O'Day over and see what she means about this. I think we can go back to the sleeping quarters or the sleeping train.
Yep.
No one is likely to be there with all the explosion.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, everybody is currently gathered in the lounge car discussing the predicament. It looks like it'll be a day stopped here for a replacement to arrive to be able to make a whole train again.
We can't just have the magic ants come and fix it all.
Nobody has seen HK Dial since Pat and Riddle got turned into a fine red mist.
Ah, okay. Well,
Nor
if
his
nobody
clockwork
else-
ants, nor Max the manservant.
If nobody else wants to jump in beforehand, I will just pull her back and have her explain what she meant by that, with my subtle threat of I know who you are and what you're wanted for.
So sorry, what was that last bit?
Just a subtle threat that I know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm murdering a union boy now. Not that he has much cotton for the union, but murder's murder, and $100 is $100. I mean,
It's more than I'm getting paid for this shit trip we're taking on this train.
We deserve more than $80 now.
No shit. I killed a
Yeah.
man.
yeah, but you. Oh!
I killed
fucking
a man in a fair draw
forgot.
or duel.
Oh my god. I can't believe I forgot. I'm a fool. The
¿Qué pasa?
train has long since pulled away from Salinas, Kansas. And the dust has settled from the departure, and dawn is about to break over the street when the body of
You
Theodore
son of a
Grissom
bitch.
gasps, and his eyes shoot open for a minute, flared open with a spectral green light. He sits up abruptly, right? And the one person in the train yard that was wheeling the wheelbarrow over to get his body gasps and runs away. And As he stands up and gathers himself, he mutters one word.
Jeremiah.
Okay, now we're back on the train.
Yeah, good thing none of us know that.
That's it. That's fine.
Well, I mean, there's no way to really demonstrate that for the audience. I guess I could do it. I gotta figure out a way to do that.
That's
like
some good fan art right there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
You got
Yeah,
it,
so-
boss.
So you got 4 bullet holes in him.
It turns out when you die, I'm not giving anybody spider leg wheelchairs to sit on. It's not happening. No. But yeah, it turns out if you die with a ton of evil and hatred in your heart with an unfinished task, there's a chance that something might see that and take advantage of the situation to help you settle up. So yeah, it's Big Bad's
Good
hard
to
now.
know.
They took him. They already took him.
There was only a couple of ways that could play out, right? I mean, he was gonna, one way or another. But yeah, so this conversation y'all have been trying to have now for 20 minutes that I keep interrupting.
Yeah. It's okay.
And then there's another gunshot. No.
And wait, no.
Well, my thinking, and this is totally, player knowledge, is now that we're back here, Victoria could easily come and get us and have me unlock sleeping quarters as well. But I want to hear
But
Miss
I'll let them
O'Day's.
look first.
I want to hear Miss O'Day's explanation about
Her
her
$100 explanation.
her
And Miss
her
Day,
friend on the train.
let's get the dice roll and then a story that relates to the amount of persuasiveness that you use to beguile, seduce, intimidate, enchant, whatever the hell you're doing.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, and don't forget you have those vocal unctions.
I don't want to use that till much later. But it should have a +2 because of charismatic. I just forgot to click it. It's still going off of the Joker, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me clear that. But yeah, the +2 stays. So yeah, you got a 9.
That's a raise.
That is mighty persuasive.
So are you asking why she's wanted, or are you asking what it
No.
is that I'm alluding to?
More what it is you're alluding to,
Okay.
and I'm using the I know that you wanted to kind of grease the tracks to
Coerce.
get you to talk.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, look, you've heard of Hoyle's Book of Games, right?
Yes, he nodded.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, you're fine. You gotta understand, Hoyle's Book of Games isn't just something for fun here. He has secrets in the book, in the text. Only certain people can understand it. But if you're able to understand and you have the gift, you can use these. It sounds stupid, but it's not magic. It's just, it's power. It's stealing power from another powerful thing, and look, you steal power from jokers. Now,
I would have just gone with Jesus, but
I am scared the living shit out of all this.
right, yeah.
This is too much.
It's a hell of
Of
a
a
train
word.
ride.
Yeah,
it
and she needs some more people in her corner, so she has to give some cards to get some. But she's gonna be like, look, I may or may not know how to read this book, and I may or may not have saw. I touched one of that inventor's ants. They're not powered by Ghost Rock. They're powered by the Jokers.
So you're telling me that you read in a book and then you can use magic from jokers and you think that the mechanical ants is magic?
Are we in behind closed doors?
All right, yeah, you're in
Yeah.
private enough. You're tucked away.
Flash the cards. Just spectral cards. Up here.
Ballsy.
Yeah, give me gambling.
Oh,
Yeah, no, she does it with a flourish. Maybe not quite that much of a flourish, but good
Yeah.
lord. All right.
Jeremiah's like, what the shit? All right, so haven't seen that and haven't heard what you said. Jeremiah's
Let's
gonna
not tell anybody about this.
look at you and he's gonna say, well, you know, Miss O'Day, as evidenced by that corpse we left behind at the last station, you're not the only one around here who's, well, wanted for something. You ain't got to worry about me. I would definitely be careful about who you tell. I'm going to drink and forget all this. But
That's a lot of drinking.
if you go showing that around, well, the local law or some hillbilly is likely to hang you. And from what I know of you, I don't want that to go down. So your secret's safe with me. Let's get to the bottom of this some bitch that's blowing up all these things on this train and stopping us out here in the savage outlands of Kansas.
I think that sounds like a great partnership. I have an ability that I might be able to figure out what he's doing. I just gotta get back on that roof.
All right, well, let's head that way and you give me the nod when you know what's going down.
So I question for DM. I want to use Conceal Arcana to, like, when I cast a spell, hide it, but I want to detect to see what was messed with on his device, basically. Or.
It is not a magic roll. It's a weird science roll. Weird
Okay,
science
so
or repair,
it's not
either
like
or.
he casted a spell.
No,
Okay, that's what I wanted to double check.
the ants did not do something magical in nature to it. No, they did something mechanical in nature.
Okay, see, I didn't understand that. So just kidding. That didn't. But instead of saying on the roof, I'll just say we need to get and find Mr. Dial's. I guess his personal car, and I might be able to get to the bottom of it.
Private Johnson Conrad climbs up the ladder and he says, H.K. Dial's currently in the dining car. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was just so concerned about you. I went to get Tucker this here liquor to bring up to provide some succor in this time of great need. He finished his climbing up the ladder, a little ungainly and portly in his motions.
Some bitch.
Comes up and it is a green liquor.
Victoria's right behind this guy.
Absent.
Oh no, sir. I'm afraid it's something much more special than that. This is a private reserve. And he opens the bottle and it like hisses a little, right? And he takes the tiniest little, oh, gotta put hair on my chest. And he offers you a nip.
For once in my life, sir, I think I will pass.
Do it yourself, he says, and takes another little nip. Oh. How about you, Miss O'Day?
None for the lady. How about you move on?
Well, the lady can speak for herself, sir. She is a fine southern ma'am.
I pull out my own bottle and say, "I've got my own, thank you."
Oh, a lady of refinement. I should have known. Who? Takes another
Shall
little
we?
nip. Uh, shall we? Where? Where would you like to go?
Dear, I'm not talking to you, but
Can Victoria cockblock again?
Yeah, I mean, you're still standing on the roof. He's right next to the ladder, just taking nips off this little vial.
just
Getting a little, crazy-eyed, in fact.
Okay, great.
Ew.
She heads over to Miss O'Day and Jeremiah, and she grabs a hold of each of their hands and just kind of says, "Ven conmigo." And she looks at Jeremiah and she like mimics a door and like push, and then points at herself.
Oh, no, not again, little lady, he says, and he marches over and says, we're not going to fall for any of that Mexican stuff this time. I'm having a conversation with the lady.
Es mi mamá. Déjame en paz.
Well, Private, maybe you were mistaken, but I was having a conversation with the lady.
He, puffs up.
That ain't the right move, Private.
He's got that liquid courage.
Oh no.
He's about to have that liquid leaking on the floor.
He's,
Where's Joe to hit this guy?
I'm like, Joe's, come on over.
Joe, I need you to come hit this guy.
Yeah, just slam her arm around his neck, around his shoulders, and be like, all right, bud, let's hit the dining car, yeah?
oh no, he pushes you off. Now he's perturbed, and he does this to Jeremiah Decker. I will fight for her honor, sir.
Just shove him.
And Joe's gonna look at JD. You got this.
You know, I'm about tired of having to hit
Southpaw
people
now.
to get through this damn train.
Eliza just rolls her shoulders back for a minute and like turns her head, and she's going to say, "You best not do that. You know, maybe later."
Excuse me,
But
little
that's
lady.
no-
Wait, gentlemen are speaking at this junction.
Ugh.
Sir, I have you put up your hands.
All right, Joe's gonna just grab him by the shoulders and deck him in the face.
Yeah, go ahead. Sucker punch, give me a +2.
All right.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let me get that over him.
Do I need to roll for damage?
Give me
Do I
just
need to
a
roll for
second.
damage or anything?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you hit him.
Okay.
Oh man.
Knock,
Oh man.
Wow.
knock his drunk ass out.
She did not knock his drunk ass out. She gave him a wound. And he says, "Oh, so that's how it's gonna be, huh?" And now he's like at both y'all here, octopusing. Now I know better to strike a lady, but there ain't no lady swinging like that. And he's gonna take a swing at you, Joe,
Bring it.
with his wonderful. I mean, as you can tell from his disposition, he is a seasoned fighter. And so
Yes.
he takes a step forward and actually steps on the Ghost Rock liquor bottle he was sipping from, right? Which slides out from under his foot and sends him ass over tea kettle off the top of the train onto his head down on the side of the tracks, right? Where he goes to gather himself, and then the bottle hits him in the back of the head and knocks him out.
I was gonna say you got us on the role playing screen, so chat can't
Oh
see the
no!
rolls.
Well, that's he critically failed that roll there. Yeah, it was yeah,
Beautiful.
it was beautiful. So, yeah, he is unconscious and bloodied and maybe proper. I mean, that was a nasty spill. The bottle breaks open and hisses and smokes on the rocks next to him.
Well,
Eso pasó.
I'll follow Victoria now.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow
begin me.
Victoria as well.
All right. Off the roof of the blown open train onto sleeper car. Idos.
I'm lock and loading my gun before we go in, just in case.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would it have been possible while everyone was like to have casted Conceal Arcana?
You can give me the roll.
Okay. Yeah, I
Keeps
do
giving
have
you
the
that
two.
Joker. My God, let me get rid of this combat here because that
Yeah, I'm like, why is
that
it keep giving me
transpired
a Joker?
way faster than I had figured it was gonna.
Well, critical failure do that to you.
Yes, sir. Huh. I don't know why it's not resetting the turn order, but I done told it to. Try this. Maybe I have to be here. No? Alright, whatever. Click the card.
Well, it is a 4.
Alright, you make it anyway. Alright, yeah. Fantastic. So yeah, you have Concealed Arcana. No magical effects will be apparent for your spells for the next 24 hours?
Let me check. Conceal is 1 hour.
Oh, 1
and
hour.
a maintenance cost of 1 per hour. So.
Okay, excellent.
Yep.
So you are at the sleeper car 2. Contains the room of Sylvester Lincoln Tate, Sir Ride Clean Cannon, Patton Riddle, and HK Dial, in addition to yourselves.
And is anyone in there?
No.
Oh, dead, no.
Yeah, most of those people are dead.
Jeremiah's
Well,
got
yes, but
Does it say like on the is there a placard on the door that says, or is it just kind of like, eeny meeny miny mo, this is whose door is whose kind of?
Yeah, the first door in front of you is Private Judson Tate, there, and then going in order down the line is Private Judson Conrad, Sylvester Lincoln Tate, Patton Riddle, and HK Dial. Oh, and Sir Clyde Reed Cannon, yes.
All right, I want to go in Riddle's room and take anything of value.
All right, let's get the thievery roll.
These.
Yeah, pop the
Ooh.
door open. You gonna go inside?
Yeah, I mean, I'll open the door before I just walk in. Like,
Oh yeah, you're not just gonna storm the room.
no,
nice
I'll
and
pop
slow.
the lock and push the door open.
Yep. There is a single clockwork ant sitting in there, staring at the door. This one with wicked wide mandibles and very sharp leg endings, right? And clutched in its mouth is a little piece of paper that says "Continue next week."
Son of a bitch!
Yep, it's that time, folks.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I mean, her secret's out now, so that's fine.
Right. So,
Well, just to me, you should be all right.
Just
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like,
That
I'm a
is
very trustworthy gentleman. Thank you.
the show this week. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It was a fantastic episode with great audience participation. We will see you the same time next week from 8 p.m. till 11. Also, check out Starfinder on Sundays and Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays. Both also fantastic shows, although neither of which are in the Savage World system, which is just a shame. It's a shame. But may your dice always roll hot, and check out these credits. If you become a subscriber, boy, you could get your name in there too.
Bye.
Tell your friends.